Doesn't matter if it's out of tune, because we're all cool. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge. This is Manchester United versus Sampdoria. Last pre-season game before the Super Cup and the kick-off to the Premier League in Dublin. I wish I was there. My town is Dublin from an English perspective. Lived there for 3 years. Love it. So gutted not to be there, but more than happy to be making up with it with another watch along with you lot. I hope you're looking forward to it. Team news is coming in imminently. It's going to be very interesting to see who starts for Manchester United, whether Matic will start, how long he will get. But yeah, looking forward to it. A lot of people saying hello to Jamie Butler, Andy Bryant and Alex McBreen. We've nearly got 1,000 people watching already, which is fantastic. I will give you the team news as soon as it comes in. It's not in yet, but I would expect it to come in any second. What can we expect from Sampdoria? Finished 10th in Serie A last season. They actually do have a game a week after we start the Premier League, but I still expect, again, there'll be another team that are a little bit further behind us when it comes to match fitness, so we'll have to see how it goes. Dan Miola's on about Neymar. I'm sure we can talk about Neymar. We've got an hour before kick-off, but we'll deal with Manchester United because that's always our priority first. Joshua Cook, I think, is watching from the United States. A lot of people saying happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. And when's the match? Says Divil Sharma. It'll be kicking off in an hour. Rest in peace to MSN. Says ha ha ha. MSN is obviously Messi, Suarez and Neymar. We'll talk about it soon. Drop a like, everyone, says Owen Brazier. And Neymar deal hijack. I think that is wishful thinking. A couple of people contacted me today about that. No chance. A few people saying happy birthday. Really isn't my birthday. I don't know why that myth's going out. But Red Cairn Devil says, evening Mark, looking forward to the night's game. You? I am. Much will depend on the team news. Much will depend on the formation. But I am looking forward to it. I think it's a fantastic ground to be playing at. There'll be a great atmosphere. I lived in Ireland for 3 years. I worked in Dublin for 3 years, and you're either United or you're Liverpool, and I quite liked that. It was good. It was a bit. I suppose it's a bit like in. Well, it's not the same. There wasn't that level of divide, but you know, like Rangers, Celtic. But yeah, when I lived in Dublin, it was Liverpool or United. So there'll be a lot of United fans there tonight. Big up Mark from Jamaica, says Rayon Williams. I think we've got the team news in. No, we haven't. Not, I always go by Twitter. It may well be out somewhere else. Will he split the team? Says somebody else. Will he split the team? Will he make it subs? Will he play a strong team? I'm sure we'll see Fellaini starting. 5 at the back, says Lolol Cats. Matic starts as well. Well, I've got the team news now, so I can read it out to you. So Matic does start. Boom! Matic is starting. That's fantastic news. So we've got De Gea, Lindelof, Smalling, Blind, Valencia. Lindelof probably playing at right back then. Matic, Pereira, Pogba, Darmian, Mkhitaryan, Lukaku. So he's got Pereira starting as well. Very excited by this side. So with Darmian starting, it looks like it might be a back 5 then. Valencia's captain. Valencia right wing back. Darmian left wing back. Lindelof, Smalling, Blind, centre backs. Matic, Pereira, Pogba as a midfield 3 and Mkhitaryan off Lukaku. I tell you what, I like that team. I like that team a lot. I really do. And I want to see what you lot think. But that's a 5-3-2. 3-5-2. 3-5-2. What am I on about? Well, and Pereira and Matic starting as well. Really, really pleased by that, and I hope everybody is at home because that's big news for United to do that. And is he setting his stall out early on? No Rashford, of course, no Martial, no Herrera, so we'll probably see them in the second half. But very, very, very happy with that team, and very, very confident that we will. Well, I think the exciting thing is you know, I'm that way inclined, so I'm probably more looking forward to watching Pereira play, if I'm totally honest, because I love Pereira. But Matic, new signing, that's exciting to see. Interested to see what sort of fit list levels he's got in relation to the rest of the team. But the 3-5-2 is encouraging as well. Obviously, if you saw the show last night with me and Rodney not so sure about it. Me, I love it. It feels like we're cheating when we play a 3-5-2. 2 up front. Mkhitaryan's going to have... I think a real positive about this team tonight as well is that... he really will have total freedom, Mkhitaryan, Whereas I think last season a lot he had, you know, defensive discipline, playing on the wing or whatever. But with this lineup, his only job is to get between the lines between Lukaku and the midfield. I think it's a no-brainer that we play the 3-5-2. I really do, because I think it suits us a lot better. In the three midfielders, you've got Pereira and Pogba with more freedom, with Matic behind them. You've got Mkhitaryan there as well, and Lukaku. I mean, it's like Christmas for United fans, because last year we were like, where's the attacking coming from? And when we play that 4-3-3, where's the attacking intent coming from? With this team, it feels like we've got 2 extra players, but it's not. It's just the genius of the formation. You've got 3 centre-backs who are all capable. You've got 2 sort of full-backs if we're defending, but they provide the width as well. You've got a midfield 3 that allows Pereira and Pogba tonight to get forward. You've got Lukaku up front, and you've got Mkhitaryan as the link between the 2. Or you could put Martial or Rashford there. So it's really encouraging. And I think this is more of a hint that a lot of people say, oh, we need another striker. But actually, if we use Mkhitaryan and Mata cleverly and don't use them as wingers, and we use them as sort of the attack side of the game with no defensive responsibilities, then we don't necessarily need another striker. So I'm very, very encouraged by it. The kickoff is at 8:45. Yep, 8:45. A lot of people saying 3-1. A few people saying rest in peace, Martial. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but in relation to Martial, well, Rashford's not starting, Lingard's not starting, Herrera's not starting, Bay's not starting. So that's not necessarily true in relation to Martial. And as I said, and as I tweeted before, and I'm more than happy to repeat this every time people want me to repeat it, but when it comes to Anthony Martial and it comes to Perisic, if we were to give up Martial for Perisic, then it's very much like buying a new pair of trainers and cutting your feet off. I want Perisic at the club. I think he's a good signing, but I don't want to lose Martial in the process. So I'm just writing the team out for you now. Bear with me. Exciting if you're joining that we have Pereira starting, we have Matic starting, we've got Mkhitaryan playing as a number 10, and we're playing a 5-3-2 or a 3-5-2. I don't know why I keep calling it that, but very, very encouraging. And I expect when you get the team that you want, what we now need to see is that team go out and perform for us in the way that we want them to. Team news is going on the bottom of the screen for you there, so that's up, which is great. But they've got to go out and perform. Looking at Sampdoria, I don't really know a hell of a lot about them. Mid-table team from last year, no real stars in there, but you know, typical sort of mid-table sort of side really. I'm sure they'll give us a little bit of a game, but great to see Pereira get the start with Pogba and Matic, says Simon Spencer. MUTV have got it down as a 4-3-3. Right, okay, well thanks for that from Anish Patel. I'm trying to look at that team and figure out how it can be a 4-3-3. Unless he's going to play... Well, no, it doesn't really fit, does it? Mkhitaryan on the right. Who'd be on the left? Mkhitaryan on the left, Pereira on the right, Lukaku, midfield 3. Maybe he's playing Blind in there. I don't know, that'd be disappointing. I'd much rather it was... a 3-5-2. Anthony O'Connor's made a contribution. Thanks for that. You can do that through the super chat option. Make sure you leave a question if you do. Will Martial ever start? Says Jay. I do have concerns about whether he'll start ever. He is a fantastic player. I think he can be our best player, but he needs to start games. No, Fellaini's a positive as well. I wonder why I was in a good mood. Apparently Blind's playing as a centre defensive midfielder. Well, I think that's disappointing then, because one, I don't think Daley Blind is ever a centre defence midfielder. I know some people go on and on about it, but I saw him play there under Van Gaal. He's very one-footed and he's very slow. So he'd suit our midfield down to the ground, actually. I'm being sarcastic. No, I don't want Blind to play as a centre defence midfielder. I think there's an opportunity there to play the 3-5-2, have Mkhitaryan in a free role, give Pogba and Pereira freedom in the midfield, let Matic sit and get the wing-backs forward. But... we're probably playing a 4-3-3 then. That's took the wind out of my sails a little bit. But yeah, I've got my drink. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I will be having a drink. Okay, it's a 3-5-2. The guy got it wrong, says Skull Gamings. I hope so. That would fit far better. Where is this happy birthday Mark stuff coming from? I'm really intrigued. If anybody could let me know, I'm very interested to know where and what that's all about. But... yeah, very, very interesting indeed to find out where this is coming from, because it is not my birthday. Also, the Nemanja Vidic chant. Does anybody think that should be used for Matic? Blow up on Twitter today, that did. Wasn't really involved in it. Saw it on the way home. I tell you what, I agree with United She Stands, who was arguing about it. Matt Vidic is a legend of United. You don't just hand it to Matic because we've signed a new player. I don't think he will flop, but what if he did flop? You've cheapened a great song for a fantastic United great. Don't give him the song. I'm feeling better today, Stinger. Yeah, I've been feeling much better. Very busy today, but no, I'm not. I'm feeling much better. Looking forward to seeing some football with you right the way through until around 10 o'clock. We'll have a match reaction as well. So drop a like, get involved. Apparently I turned 23 today, which is fantastic. Oh, I've just reminded myself of something. Got to do this. Right, so we have got a Predictor League up and running this season. It's through Super Brew. It is free. It's nothing you've got to pay to sign up for, so don't worry about that. Somebody did message me about it. We're doing it through Super Brew. We did it a couple of videos ago, so I'm going to promote it a little bit again today because we want to get as many people in this as we can. The link is actually in the video description. If you click the link in the video description, it will take you to this page. Well, you'll have to sign up first, and you will enter in through that link into the United Stand Predictor League, which we have up and running. How does it work? Well, it's a Premier League one, so you pick your predictions for that week. As you can see, I've already predicted mine, so you can see I've gone with Arsenal to beat Leicester 2-0. Where's United? I've gone United to win 2-0 on the Sunday at 4 o'clock. City to win. Have I gone with anything controversial? Yeah, I've gone Liverpool not to win away to Watford. I bet I guarantee Liverpool will have a good start. But as with the fantasy league we've got running, which I'll give you details up tomorrow, and as we build towards the start of the Premier League season, get yourself in this Predictor League. It's bang free to win it. There are prizes to be won. All you got to do, click that link in the video description, sign up. You'll go straight into the United Stand League, and let me have a look at how many people we've got in it actually at the moment. I can't see how. I can't remember how I do it. I can't remember how to do it. That's a shame. I can't remember how to do it. But you sign up on the link on the video description, get yourself in there. All you lot have got to worry about is clicking on the link and getting yourself into it. You'll automatically get entered into our league. So sign up, get involved. Let's see who can finish second to me, because I'm good at Predictor Leagues. I'm good at fantasy football. I'm good at everything. I can't be beaten. So get involved on the United Stand. We've got a fantastic community on the live comments, and I think over the season it's going to be another little bit of banter that you can all have with each other based on how you're doing in the Predictor League. So get involved with that. Looking forward to that, and the link is in the video description to do so. Put up the team, says somebody. It's going on the bottom. Understand that bunch of players going across the bottom of the screen right now, underneath my picture of Duncan Edwards. See where it says De Gea, then it says Valencia, Lindelof, Smalling. It's not just a list of United players, it's actually the team that's playing tonight. Anthony O'Connor, it's his birthday, not mine. Happy birthday. But people are saying happy birthday to me. It's going to start, I think this is going to start trending on Twitter. Happy birthday, Mark. And we've got no idea what it's all about. When does the match start, says BJ Gaming. It starts in about 45 minutes. I tell you what, should we just do the Neymar thing? Because people keep going on and on and on about it. And we may as well get it done whilst we can. Very happy with the United team. Matic starts, yes. Pogba and Pereira with a bit of freedom, yes. I mean, you know, playing Matic. Be interesting to see how much freedom Pogba and Pereira get. Encouraging to see Pereira starting. Wing backs, very good. I still think we need to sign Perisic so he can be the left wing back. Mkhitaryan in behind Lukaku, hopefully. And a game for Lindelof as well. And the formation 3-5-2. So lots and lots to be positive about. Here we go. Shaka Phillips. Mark, thoughts on Neymar and the future of football? So, I don't know the official line at the moment. Drawty was messaging me a bit today about it, saying that he's going to go. But £198 million. The funny thing about the Neymar thing is, and I did a video on Neymar about a month ago because we've been linked to absolutely everybody. But the funny thing is, on July the 1st, Neymar's contract actually increased. His buyout clause increased from about 150 to 200. So it's obviously been quite a recent phenomenon that he's decided to go. Should Manchester United be in for Neymar? I suppose that's the first question, to which the answer is no. I'm sure Manchester United would love to sign Neymar. We made a big statement with Pogba and 90 million last year, but £200 million on a player, That is still beyond Manchester United as a club, and I think rightly so. £200 million on a player is about corrupt money. That's about corrupt money in football. And when I say corrupt, I don't mean like, you know, fraud or embezzlement or anything like that, or money laundering. What I mean is the corrupt side of football, where it's like, it's meant to be financial fair play. Paris Saint-Germain don't make £200 million. Not in a million years. Manchester City don't make £300 million that they've spent this summer. And this is where football's going down the drain for me. Manchester United, we are in a fortuitous situation, I suppose, that we can look down on it and say, look, if football was run properly with financial fair play, we'd be at the top of the tree, because we make billions genuinely from fans and sponsorship that people want to be associated with United, and we've got loads of fans. Man City, PSG, they make money through their rich owners, wherever they're from, pumping it in through weird little deals that the financial fair play people don't want to do anything about. But some of the things I've seen is they'll get like sponsorship of their training kit or their training ground for like 100 million. You know, something that any normal company would never do. But these companies have beneficial owners who actually go all the way back to the source of the funds in Qatar or wherever it is. So it's making a mockery of football. But what happens is when you're PSG and they've got that sort of ownership, £200 million to them is a pittance to buy what is effectively a toy. Oh, we got Neymar. I've just bought Neymar with some loose change, because it's loose change to these rich people. But you know what? I don't want them in football. I don't want you in football, because football is our game. It's the fans' game. Whether you've started watching football in the last 2 years and you're like 8 years old, or whether you've been watching it for years like me and you're in your 30s or in your 50s or whatever. Football is your game. It's our game. And it becomes cheapened and ruined by these rich people, you know, rich beyond your wildest dreams, who just come in and start playing with it. And they mess it all up, because Neymar for £200 million, what about the next Neymar? Does he just go... Does he automatically go to Man City or PSG, because they're the only clubs that are making a mockery of the system, paying massive amounts of money that a club like United, a club like Barcelona, great clubs, you know, Juventus, even your Real Madrids, they can't do that. We can't pay £200 million. Real Madrid can't pay £200 million. Barcelona can't. We all can, but it is totally and utterly going to kill us as clubs to do it. So we have to sit back and watch the circus. So United shouldn't be in for Neymar. I'm firm about that. I know some people think that we should, but we shouldn't be on many, many levels. On one, it just doesn't. We don't make that sort of profit that we can do that. Not on top of his wages as well. So I think it's sad for football. I really do. How do we defeat it? I don't know. I think there's a bubble and it will burst, but it won't burst for a long time whilst there are these sources of money just chucking it in just for a game. We saw it with Abramovich at Chelsea in the early days, and you know, we moaned about it then. You know, just oil money, just chucking it in because he's a billionaire, and you know, it brought Chelsea success. The difference with PSG is really that, you know, somebody like Ronaldinho went to Barcelona because he wanted to win trophies. Neymar in his prime years is leaving Barcelona to play for PSG. It's turning your back on really being a great player who wins trophies to line your pockets with money. But I've hinted at this quite a lot recently. Football is full of mercenary players. We've got some at United. I'm not naming names, but that's what football's about now. It is very much about the money. And again, that's quite sad, because footballers were always well paid when I was growing up, but it wasn't the amount of money that's in there now that it turns them into, you know. So, I mean, Robbie Savage, he's been retired for a long time, but some of the comments he's come out with, I never even thought of the fans. You know, I never really thought that they were providing my wages. I was just there to earn a lot of money and play football. And I think they do live in a bubble. And the sad thing is, not in this case, but certainly in Manchester United's case, the wages, the money, it's provided by the fans. You can't say that about Neymar. That's just a play toy from these Qatari owners who just want him at PSG. But it's a pub league, it's a pub team, and one thing I would say personally, I hope that Neymar and PSG win nothing other than the French league, because that would make me very, very happy, because I don't think that level of immoral purchasing is any good for the game. I think, you know, Lukaku for 75 million, Bernardo Silva for 50. You know, they're just about, you can just about stomach those. It is too much money, but you can just about stomach those. But when it's 200 million on a player, I think it just makes a mockery, an absolute mockery. But as we've seen in recent years, FIFA, UEFA, the FA, they're just as bad as anybody else. So the game's in a mess, and everybody's clambering for their pound of flesh. the reason the English football team has been so bad for so long is they make so much money. The English national team make more money than anybody, but we're awful. But whilst they're all scratching around for their money, they're not really bothered about the fans or what's going on in the game. It's quite worrying. I think as Manchester United fans we'll be all right because we're a big club, but it probably put what United are trying to do to bring it back to United, and I've mentioned this a few times this summer, what we're trying to do is and it won't be lost on you if you're watching the United stand or keeping your eyes open. What about we are buying a lot of 15, 16, 17-year-olds, and if even 25% of those players we've bought over the last 3 years become first-team players, that's about 4. So on top of that, you've got Twansibi, you've got Mark Fosumenzi, you've got Pereira, Rashford, Gomez, Chung, a couple of others. We've got a lot of young talent coming through, and they won't all make it. But if they do make it, then that's the way forward for Manchester United. We've got to go back to creating our own. And in an odd way, you know, United are the only club by a long way to have a youth player in their matchday squad since the 1930s. You know, no other club comes near. But in an odd way, I think football's going to turn. I think that's the way you're going to have to go. You're going to probably see people spending a lot of money on youth because that's the way to bring them through without paying these ridiculous talents. If you want a Neymar, you're going to have to sort of bring it through the club, because I don't see Manchester United ever spending 200 million on a player unless sponsorship goes up, but that's bad for fans. If sponsorship goes up, then Sky Sports, BT Sports subscriptions go up. I mean, they're already taking too much from us. So we would pay the price if they put the if we bought Neymar, you know, your season tickets and everything like that. So I think it's very bad for football. But in all honesty, I don't want United anywhere near Neymar. I think he has been poisoned by money, Prashwell. And when we were speaking about Neymar a few times this summer, what I did say is he strikes me as a mercenary. And that's been proved right. He clearly is a mercenary. I was spot on. I'm not always right, but I was right about that. He is clearly a man about money, mercenary. His dad sounds the same, and I wouldn't want him anywhere near Manchester United. But we should all not be blinkered. Have no doubts there are players within Manchester United Football Club who are all about the money as well, because that's what football's turned these players into. You know, I go down the park and stuff and play football with my kids, and you go down like the teams they play for, and you watch some of the kids and their dads and the way they are, and they're obsessed. And they're not obsessed like when I was playing football. You know, the Premier League didn't exist when I was growing up. I just loved football, as many of you would have done. I loved football, absolutely loved it. You know, dreamed about scoring a goal in the FA Cup final because that was a big thing in those days. Getting an England cap. I mean, even me now, the FA Cup it's okay, but it's not what it was when I was growing up. Playing for England, I'm more bothered about Manchester United. But these young kids today, it's all about, oh, you know, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire if I'm a footballer. And I think that's sad as well. That, you know, your motivation to be a footballer is now about the money and the status and the fame. And for me, it was about scoring goals and playing the game that was just besotted me. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Let me just get rid of him. Remember to drop a like on the video. It's nice to hit 1,000 likes before we get there. We've got loads of people watching, which is fantastic. I'm just multitasking. Mad Marcus should be coming on. What else? Let's have a look at some of your comments. Do you think we'll fork out much more money, or do you think we'll buy average player to save money? I think Perisic will cost 50 million, which is a lot of money. 50 million for Perisic is a lot of money, but I think he'll help the team a lot. Mark, can you believe that the World Cup is being held in Qatar in 2022? Says Alex O'Donnell. Well, I think I've spoken enough about non-United stuff, but what I would say about that is it's a disgrace, and it's been proven to be corrupt by FIFA's and their actions over how you get the World Cup. So I think it's a joke, and I think it's a disgrace. The Joglog MC, how do you donate? If you can see the $ at the bottom of the live comments, that's how you contribute through the super chat. But if you do contribute to the United Stand, thank you very much. But make sure you leave a comment so we can read it out. What else? What have we got? What else? I don't understand why everyone is complaining. He just wants to win a Ballon d'Or, says Saif Ahmed 997. He's got absolutely no chance of winning a Ballon d'Or unless corrupt UEFA give it to him because he scores 100 goals in a pub league. You shouldn't win a Ballon d'Or playing in the French league. Nowhere near it. You should not win it. Unless they win the Champions League, you should not win the Ballon d'Or in the French league. It's non-deserving. Absolutely not deserved. What do I think about today's lineup? Yeah, let's bring it back to that, Sarah, because there's a lot of people who've probably, well, we were around 2,000 watching when we had the team news before. So, De Gea's in goal, Valencia, Lindelof, Smalling, Blind, Darmian, and Matic makes his debut, Pereira and Pogba, Mkhitaryan and Lukaku. If it's the 3-5-2 we suspect it is, very, very excited because, as I keep saying, it feels like cheating when we play the 3-5-2 because we get a lot more players into positions and areas that we never do under that boring 3-3-3. So you've got 3 at the back, which is comfortable. You've got your fullbacks who can get back and make it a 5, but they're also the width of the team, which is brilliant. You've got Matic who will sit there. You've got Pereira and Pogba with freedom. You've got Lukaku up front, and then you've got the extra man of Mkhitaryan with no defensive responsibility, who just gets in between the midfield and the attack and feeds those players. So I really like this formation if we're playing it. I think it's great for Mkhitaryan, who throughout his first year at United always had to worry about defensive side of the game, when really he should just be free to be the the creator. You've got Pogba who now get a bit more with Matic. Pereira playing, which is fantastic. Obviously Matic, as I just said, his debut. Be really interested to see what his fitness levels are like and how he fits into United. I've always had concerns about his speed of movements and everything, so it's going to be very interesting to see how quick he gets around the ground tonight alongside people like Pogba and Pereira, who are my sort of midfielders that are very tenacious, get quick around the ball, move the ball quickly. Let's see how Matic fits in with them. We know what we're going to get with Carrick, a declining Carrick. We know what we'll get with Herrera, fantastic player. We know what we get with Fellaini, slow movement to the ball and slow. What we're going to get with Matic. And I think when we're watching this game later together, that is one thing I would try and imprint in everybody's head. When you're watching Matic, think Carrick, Herrera and Fellaini. And what is he doing better than them? I can sort of predict what he'll do straight away. He'll move the ball much better than Fellaini, much quicker, much further. And hopefully he'll bite into the tackle quicker than Carrick. But we'll see. We'll really see. We don't want to have a slow midfield. We certainly don't want to spend 40 million on a player that doesn't speed up our midfield. So let's see what happens there. There are some rumours that Mourinho wants Andre Gomez from Barcelona, says Erkan from Turkey. Yep, covered it on the Transfer Daily Show this morning. Remember, if you are new to the United Stand, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. You're very welcome. Got a fantastic community of fans here, as you can see with the live comments. So join the United Stand and get involved in that community. We have a show every night at 8 o'clock. Obviously not tonight because we're already live doing the watch along. We do every United game. We're live an hour before the game, all the way through till full time. Every morning throughout the transfer summer window, we have a transfer show that goes up at 7 o'clock, although sometimes it's a bit later because I'll do it live off my phone. So lots and lots of shows and lots of ways to get involved with the United Stand, so please do, and you're very, very welcome. But let's have a look at what people are saying. I did hear about Saga. We've actually done a couple of shows on him, but I have heard the latest rumour that we maybe aren't even in for him, which is interesting. Some people are going about Martial. I don't think it's a big deal. Neither's Lingard and neither's Rashford. So I don't think it's that much of a deal. But I do have concerns that he does keep getting mentioned time and time again with a loan move, and I don't want him to go. I don't want him to leave Manchester United. I think he's a fantastic talent, and also I don't think our squad is big enough that we could afford to let him go. Marcus is here, so hopefully he will be joining me soon. I haven't had a message off him though. Tell him, read your text, Marcus. Carl Stanton says you'll see that Matic is just a stronger version of Carrick with the same passing ability. I doubt very much he's got the same passing ability as Michael Carrick. I think you're really discrediting Carrick by making that comment, to be honest. Michael Carrick is the best passer I've seen in the Premier League for a long time because he can do it off both feet and he makes a 50-yard pass look like a 5-yard pass. I think it'd be unfair to expect Matic to be able to do that. I think Matic on the left foot's quite good, but he's not as two-footed in his passing as Carrick is. I mean, you know, Matic may have other attributes that are better than Carrick, but the passing is certainly in Carrick's corner. CJ Bailey 007, is it just yours or is the sound gone? No, mate, the sound's absolutely fine at the moment. I was joking with you then. I was just moving my mouth. It's funny, I can do that. I can do it again, look. But no, I'm messing around. Sound should be absolutely fine. Just refresh. Refresh. That's what I would do. What else do I want to do? Okay. Who's our number 10? It'll be Mkhitaryan tonight. Hopefully it is a 3-5-2. There is a little bit of confusion as to whether we are playing a 3-3-2, a 3-5-2 tonight, or whether we're playing a 4-3-3. Because, and the reason for that is, Manchester United TV, they put up that we are playing 4-3-3, which with the team that we've got out there, that could only mean that Daley Blind's in the midfield, which we haven't seen since the early days of Van Gaal. I don't want to see Daley Blind in the midfield, so I hope there is absolutely nothing in that. But I'm sure, surely it will be a 3-5-2. We do not want to see anything other than that. I think I got a few people with the lip reading thing there. There's nothing wrong with your sound. The match would be great. I'm so happy. Adam Holmes has made a contribution of £1. Thank you, Adam. And what's your opinion on Paul Scholes? Mark, says Mikey Mate. Best midfielder I've seen. Fantastic player. Simple as that. Naveen VJ says to check out DiMarzio. I've been checking him out all summer and he's let me down. What's he going to come out with now? Guarantee it's something to do with Perisic. But let's have a look for you. Okay, yep. Something from Perisic 45 minutes ago. Let's have a look. DiMarzio is always good for Italian stuff, so let's see what he's got on it. I think it's saying Candreva's untouchable because there was this rumour that Candreva could go to Chelsea and Perisic could stay. But I would imagine even Perisic could be a few days ago. Manchester United has disappeared from the radar and has made no revival. So that's basically what is it Spalletti, the Inter Milan manager, said it at the weekend that we've made no It's alright. It's one of the lads off Twitter who we've known for ages. If anybody follows Billy Meredith at Urmston Lord NUFC on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, a lot of you will do because he's a really good contributor on Twitter and a really good United fan. He's had his account suspended for 7 days. That's just ridiculous. Twitter's getting worse and worse and worse. You know, I've had people like giving me death threats and calling me all sorts of names, and Twitter does nothing about it. You make a silly little comment that's, you know, enough people, you know, Twitter notices it and you're off. Really, really joke. I'll just send them a message there of support. Mark, if you could sign another striker, who would it be? Icardi, Immobile, Mandzukic? I would not sign Mandzukic. I cannot. I think he's the donkey. I'd put him up there with Cavani. I'd love Icardi. I still like Belotti. Aubameyang's not moved yet. I mean, I'm a bit worried. Not about our business. I think our business is okay. I'm just more worried about what other teams still could do because Aubameyang's still available. James Howell's made a contribution. Thank you, James. He says, are any under 23 or under 21? Oh, no. That's not super chats that we want. They haven't updated the super chats. That's a shame because that's from. That's not where we want to be. I don't want to be there. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing. Let's come back. It's slow, that's what it is. Okay. It's very slow tonight. We've got 830 people who've liked the video. Please do like it. Let's get to 1,000 ASAP. For those of you who've joined a little bit late, there's a link in the video description. A few people have messaged me about this over the week, so I've waited to the Watchalong because I know everyone's got a little bit more time. Super Brew link in the video description. It's not a beer, it's a Predictor League, which if you click the link in the video description, you can join the United Stand Predictor League. It's free. You don't need to worry about having to sign up or anything like that. It's free. Click on the link, sign yourself up, and then you can be in our Predictor League, and you can battle to finish second to me. As you can see there, it's Premier League. I've already put my predictions in. I've got United to beat West Ham at the bottom there, 2-0. Tottenham to beat Newcastle away, 4-1. Chelsea to beat Burnley 4-1. So I'm looking forward to playing that. It's free to enter. Link in the video description. Let's get as many people as possible playing, because I want loads of United standers to be playing it, and we can banter about it during the season then. But I'm very confident that I'll win. Scoring system is very, very intelligent as well in how it works, and I think you get a point for a right result, but you get more points if you get an exact result. So looking forward to that. Get involved. We've also got a fantasy football league, which I'll tell you a little bit more about. Now is probably not the time as we build up towards it next week. But the Super, the Predictor League link is in the video description. So get yourself up. Spike says, what do you think about Andre Gomez? I don't want him. Good one. Isaiah D. You know what? He says, I'm going to copy all your picks so we tie on the first week. The reality is, they're my picks at the moment. They will change. They will change. There is an example. And I've got Liverpool to draw with Watford on the opening game of the season. But actually, you know, when you actually think about it, I think Liverpool will probably win that 5 or 6-0. Because remember Watford last game of the season? Didn't City get 8 or something like that? And I just think Liverpool and City will have the sort of starts to the season again where their fans are thinking they're going to run away with it. So I fully expect Liverpool and City to have a good start to the season. Hopefully we will as well. Hopefully we will as well. Infinite Warfare Infected. Who do you think Manchester United should sign next, Mark? Well, if Demarcio's right, we've not made any inquiry about Perisic for a number of weeks. That's worrying. Are we hanging in there for Bale, who apparently has another injury? I don't know. I don't know. We've hit 1,000 likes, everybody. That's fantastic. We're still 25 minutes from kickoff, so well done to that. Pratik says, when will the transfer record be broken again after Neymar at 199 million? The thing is, it could get broken for somebody who's not even that good now. It just, football has become ridiculous. But if you want to know what I said about that, I spoke about it before. Louise O'Donoghue says that Matic is a short-term option and Fabinho is the future. I don't think we'll get Fabinho now. I think Fabinho was a fan pick. I'm not convinced he was ever anybody that Mourinho wanted. I think us as fans wanted him. There you go, Ahmed. Can we win the league with the players we have now? Says John Sear. Of course we can. Leicester won the league 2 years ago. Nobody would have predicted that. So we can win it. Pulisic says Cranium 1210. I would love Pulisic from Dortmund. Might be a little bit too young for Mourinho. Matic is better than Fabinho, says Bradley Taylor. Good to see that people think that. Hi Mark, what you think about Sergi Roberto? Mika Grant says that. Not a lot. I don't really know. I haven't really watched a lot of him, if I'm totally honest. Oliver Carter, we need a winger like Neymar, someone like Bale. Thanks for the contribution, Oliver. Bale is a divider. He is a divider. Kyle Stanton says Matic is very two-footed. Well, we're about to find out whether that's true or not. Will Ronaldo ever come home? Says Brian Badonde. I doubt it. I don't think so. United has to sign a Galactico this season because they want back revenues from shirt sales and so on, says Yavan Williams. I don't think we are going to sign a Galactico unless we are really in for Bale. I don't really see us signing that sort of a player this summer. If we were intending to do that, why are we not in for Neymar? I know it's a lot of money, but he is in his mid-20s. As an investment, you'd probably get a lot of that money back. Why would you spend 90 million on Bale who's 28 and injury prone, when you could just double it and get Neymar, who's 3 years younger, far more marketable worldwide, as a business decision. I know it's double the price, but Neymar would be better. So I don't think we are going to be spending 90 million on anybody else this summer. Alexi Nicola's made a contribution. What makes a good modern centre defence midfielder? Timothy Fosu-Mensah would be good, but would Valencia fit? Not as strong at passes, but would like to see it in a friendly. Twan CB2. Valencia played as a centre midfielder for United against Everton under Van Gaal a couple of years ago. We've never seen him play there again. But he plays there for his country. He's fantastic in that role. So I would like to see him play there, but he never seems to get picked to play there. So it's a good shout. Valencia would be very good. Some people feel that Fosu-Mensah doesn't have the first touch to play in the midfield. He's certainly got the desire and the speed, but Mourinho doesn't seem to want to play him there. I hope he goes on loan. Verb Plural says Bale is technically not a Galactico anymore. He's an expensive substitute, and that's the truth. Jag1502, Mark, would you have wanted Neymar, and what would you think of Woodward if we did sign him? I did say I said this about Neymar a couple of months ago, that he does strike me as a mercenary, and lo and behold, it's turned out to be true. So I believe we've got mercenaries at the club, so it'd be wrong to say I don't want Neymar just because he's a mercenary. But I must admit, I'm absolutely stunned that he's gone to PSG in a pub league and left Barcelona to PSG. I think if he'd left Barcelona to come to United, I could have sort of understood that, because you can win things at United and it's the biggest league in the world. But going to PSG, unbelievable. Shaka wants my top 4 predictions for next season. Well, we'll do that next season in the build-up to the Premier League. I'd need to think about that, and I still think in a week's time we'll have a lot more idea about everybody else. Mark, is Mourinho resting Lingard for the Super Cup? Says Fantasy Kid. Probably. Lingard has started every game. For some reason, he's a first-team player. Justin Kluivert from Ajax, or Kluivert from Ajax, says Jacko. What's your thoughts? If he's going to come to United, he'll come to United next summer. I think that would be a right decision if we are in for him. I think he needs another year at Ajax. Interestingly enough, his agent is Mini Raiola. So there we go. Nothing's been mentioned about Marco Reus, says Ant Walton. That's because he's not for sale. Simple as that. Mini says we don't have mercenary players, Mark. You're wrong. Look, you get, mercenary, I think everyone takes it as a negative. Football today, a lot of it is about money. A lot of players are motivated by money. Every club will have their mercenary. Every club will. I think when you talk about people like Ander Herrera, Juan Mata, they're not mercenaries. Herrera could have gone to Barcelona this summer and earned more money in his native country, but he loves Manchester United. But those players are probably few and far between now. That is not necessarily the player's fault. They play for clubs from the age of 13, 14 in a bubble. They earn massive money. They get adulation. And they've got agents who just want more money. So everything around them is get more money, get more money. That is the game that's been built by these people who want to make money, and it's sad. Football's sort of been abused in many ways, but hopefully it will sort itself out. Somebody just asked, what is Manchester United's big weakness now as we stand? It does start in 20 minutes, Angel Gomez. United's biggest weakness for me has always been the inability to move the ball quickly from back to front, and the inability to get numbers into the final third. I think this formation today, we might counter that, and I hope Mourinho, if we do, starts to use it more and more. I totally agree that we need to be flexible. Even if 3-5-2 works well, there will be games where we need to play 4-3-3. But we need to move the ball quicker from the back to the front, and we need to get more men forward and create more chances from the midfield. So that's our big weakness at the moment, the inability to move the ball around and the inability to entertain, because we haven't been that good since Christmas. A lack of wide players, says Jonathan Reed. Yeah, well, I think if Luke Shaw could get fit, this system would fit him like a glove. You've got Valencia, who I think is the perfect wing back, because he can get forward, he can get backwards. What we don't have on the left side is somebody who's good at that. We'll probably see Darmian doing it tonight, and he's not a player who's built for that. I think Perisic could do it. I think you could almost have Valencia, who's the winger who was turned into a right back. Perisic, who's the winger who's turned into a wing back because he's good defensively. Shiva says Matic signing should free up Pogba and Herrera and we'll have a dynamic midfield. Yeah, we've had a static midfield, and I think Shiva's right. We need a dynamic midfield. All the top teams in the Premier League have got dynamic midfields, go-getter midfields, proactive midfields, whereas I think we were a bit of a reactive, static midfield, and hopefully Matic can help with that. But let's get excited, because actually it's not Herrera tonight, it's Pereira tonight. So lots of reasons to be positive about that, and certainly I am. I really like Pereira, and seeing him from the start is fantastic. Right, just having a quick look. Loads of pictures being sent in on Twitter from people at the ground. I hope you have a great time, and I'm sure you will. Let's have a look what people are saying. Patty says, do you think we'll play Aurier at left back if we get him? Well, apparently we're not in for him anymore, but I wouldn't mind him coming in. The one, I mean, Mendy would have been perfect, but whether we were ever in for him or wanting to spend 50 million on him is another thing. But he is basically Valencia at left back. I don't like Man City. I've got no time for Man City, but he's a player that I think will be interesting to watch and see this season. Nalini Tiaji says, can you compare Willian with Perisic? Not really. Obviously, I've seen a lot of Willian. I've seen quite a bit of Perisic. Perisic is a lot taller. Willian, they're probably about the same speed. In fact, Perisic might be quicker. Willian's probably better with the dead ball. Perisic is two-footed. Willian isn't as two-footed. Perisic is stronger. I think Perisic is better than Willian, to be honest. But the advantage Willian has, he's Premier League proven. Perisic has never played in the Premier League, so that is the advantage. But I think Perisic is the better player and certainly suits us better. £515,000 a week for Neymar on a 5-year deal. To be honest, I almost feel like saying, "Rest in peace, football." I think it's horrible. I think it's absolutely horrible. And what makes a big mockery of it is that PSG, they're not even a big team. They're not a big team. It's just a club in a pub league owned by ridiculously rich people who have took the absolute mick out of football and sorted this deal. You know, a player, one of the best players in the world, going into his prime years, playing for Barcelona, to move to PSG is just like a FIFA deal. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous on the part of the player himself for being such a mercenary. It's ridiculous on the part of football in general and the governing bodies allowing it to happen. There's no way PSG generate that sort of income, and it's ridiculous on the part of the greedy people who are behind all this money, ruining our game from wherever they are in the Middle East. It's a disgrace. That it should not be allowed to happen. But you know what? This is the sort of thing, if you look through history, this is the sort of thing that destroys great things. It's like a poison. It's like a cancer in our game, and it will kill it. But football won't die. But the way they're trying to build football will die. You cannot just keep chucking more and more money into football. It will blow up at some point. And what I can see happening is sort of breakaways, breakaway leagues, breakaway. You know, you're almost seeing it anyway with the likes of Salford. And I know it's the class of '92 behind that, but they're from a football bygone era, really. You know, one club players, most of them. You know, played football because they were in love with it, earned money out of it, but they're building a club from the bottom. And I think that is maybe where football will go, because football fans just want to watch football. And I know a lot of people who stopped going to watch football and fell out of love with it. People in their their late 30s and 40s because of what football's become compared to the football that they knew. Back to United. This team will be our Champions League team, says Kieran Byrne. I don't think it will, because what about Herrera? What about Rashford? I'm going to get Mad Marcus on. And then I can open my beer. And then we'll be only a few minutes away from the start of the game. In fact, while I get Marcus on, why doesn't everyone tell me? This is one of my favourite bits of the show, and I normally leave it a little bit later than this, but we can do it now. Get commenting. Tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Our days of 3 AM kickoffs on the US tour are gone. We're back into the sociable times for ourselves, but I know for a lot of you, that won't be the same. So let us know where you're watching from and what time it is, and we'll give some shout outs for you. Are you with me? Hello?
Hello, I'm here.
I can hear you, that's alright. 1 minute, let me just get onto the live comments. I've got to not miss out where people are watching from. How you doing anyway, alright?
Yeah, I'm right, mate. Happy birthday, if it's true.
I don't know where this rumour's coming from, because it's not true. I've got no idea. Nobody in the live comments has told me. I think it's either started off as a banter comment in the live comments and it's gone very, very well. So whoever's done it, you should sit there with a very proud smile on your face. Or something's going on some social media thing that I've got no idea about. Okay, so Purple Fangs is watching from Macclesfield, and funnily enough, in Macclesfield it is also 7:33 like it is here in Birmingham. Prival Viraj is watching in Southern India. It's midnight. Orlando, Florida, it's 2:33 PM, says John Bailey. Canada 2:30, Wigan 7:30, Charlie Phillips. We've got people in Ireland. Well, that's where United are as well. Anybody actually had the game? They'll start lying now. Dublin, Gloucester, Ireland, Wales, Middle East, Birmingham, Wales, Ireland, Manchester, Taiwan. It's 3 AM. Walsall. Jamaica, it's 1:30 PM. And Swaggerman Dan's watching from Chiang Mai in Thailand. It's 1:35 AM here, and I'm super tired, but I'm gonna watch United. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Give us your thoughts on the team, Marcus. Happy with it?
I'm quite happy with it, yeah. I'm not sure on what the formation is going to be. They've got it, I think it came up on MUTV as a 4-3-3.
I'm praying it's not, because that means a total waste of what can be an exciting formation, really.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Matic start his first game, see how he does. The thing that stands out for me, though, is Pereira starting.
Yeah.
In the midfield, so hopefully Matic playing the CDM role, it'll free Pereira up a bit, and we'll see him hopefully as an attacking force tonight.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm sorry, I'm just multitasking, making sure that the time is up as well. Yeah, I think hopefully it will be a 3-5-2. I think that's what we've all been discussing and hoping around, because with all due respect, I'm not one of those people who wants Daley Blind to play centre defensive midfield, and I don't think that is something we should be trying to do when we've just bought a new centre defensive midfielder. Let Matic play in that role on his own. For me, I'm really excited to see Matic. I've sort of bought into the signing now because that is the right thing to do. He's a United player now. Wasn't my choice, but now he's here. He must get our backing. And what I'm intrigued to see about Matic is 2 seasons ago under Mourinho, he was atrocious. Even Mourinho said that. Last season he won the title, but he had Kante alongside him. This season, is he on the decline like some people think? Or was Kante a smokescreen to how good he actually is? And I think that's something we're going to find out. Probably not tonight. We'll get a glimpse tonight, but over the next few weeks. Is Matic still one of the best centre defensive midfielders in the Premier League? And if he is, we've got a great signing. If he isn't, well, we'll talk about that next summer. But I want Matic to be given that role. I don't want him to play alongside Daley Blind.
No, exactly. Matic, he's brought in for the CDM role. So hopefully he fulfills our expectations. He does it well. Hopefully we don't see Fellaini take up that position any longer now, because there is no need to.
I forgot
if we've
about
got
him.
Matic and Carrick, and waiting in the wings, Fosu Mensah. So I would expect hopefully that Kante was the smokescreen, and now Matic would be, you know, he's in a team here with, like I say, apart from Michael Carrick as the only established CDM, he's got a good few seasons in him to make that role his, and hopefully he can excel at doing it.
United We Are says, hello from the Aviva. Mark, it's been played at the Aviva Stadium tonight. If you are there and you're watching the United stand now, start a Mexican wave. I'm watching the screen. I'm sure it can start. All I can see is one person on their own standing up and down. That might be United We Are. But if you are at the ground tonight, I don't know what the reception's like there. They're normally bad at football. But if you are there, enjoy it. I wish I was there too. There was a question before about whether we'll see us play an attacking football again. I think if this formation is the one we want it to be tonight, we will see some attacking football.
I hope so, yeah. The way Sampdoria is set up normally, they don't usually set up in a defensive way. So hopefully they do come out. They treat it as a serious game. I expect us to be treating it as a serious game with the lineup that's been put out. So hopefully it's competitive. Both teams go for it. It's a one-off game in Ireland as well, so I suppose in a sense we're back on home soil, aren't we, so to speak.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah, we go for it and we give it our best shout, and get ready for the Super Cup on Tuesday.
I'll tell you what I'm pleased about as well is, I mean, I lived in Ireland for 3 years and United never came there when I was there, but I'm really, really pleased that my adopted country and all those fans there will get to see Matic play. And I think, pre-season you just never know. But I think it's great that Mourinho's picked him. I know a lot of my mates going to watch the game tonight, and there'll be a big excitement. Ireland really do get passionate about things. I think in the way us English don't. I think we're a bit reserved. We don't have the St George's day off. When I lived in Ireland, St Patrick's Day, March, every year it's a bank holiday, and there's a lot of they get a lot of excitement. Halloween's a fantastic event over there as well. They really get into things, and I think that I've been looking forward to United coming over. I think the atmosphere will be fantastic, and I'm really pleased that actually when you look at all our pre-season games, this is probably the most exciting team we've started with throughout the whole pre-season run. Hopefully the 3-5-2, a strong back three. As somebody was saying there, Daley Blind could be the left wing back, and Darmian might be part of a back three, which I would probably prefer to be honest. I think Blind, at least, he's got the attacking intent that Darmian lacks, because Darmian's the better defender. Yeah,
Darmian's not the official. He's not naturally gifted, shall we say, as the wing back. Van Gaal bought him primarily as the right back. He's now been swapped around to left back position. Now he's going as the wing back position. So, Daley Blind is probably a more natural fit for that side. Don't want to see Daley Blind as a CDM at all. So hopefully it all goes to plan, and I think tonight will be all eyes on Matic. I think for a lot of United fans.
I haven't done it as much tonight. I was hoping we'd get 122,000 subscribers tonight. We're about 450 off it, so it'll take a bit of an effort. But if you are new, as I'm sure some of you are, make sure you click that little hologram in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe. We are a live content channel, so you need to be subscribed and click that bell. You'll get a notification when we go live. Sometimes the morning transfer show, it's 7 AM. Sometimes it's a little bit later and I'm live off my phone, so you need to be subscribed to get the notification, or follow us on Twitter at United Stand MUFC, where we always post the link up on there. But we're live every night at 8 o'clock. We're live for every Manchester United game an hour before with the team news, and right the way through till full time. We've got the transfer show every morning during the summer, and any Manchester United news that happens, whether it's a sale, a signing or a big event, we'll go live for. So live content on the United Stand. Make sure you subscribe. Most importantly, make sure you subscribe, because this community is fantastic and it embraces the worldwide support. We've got people from Bangladesh, from Nigeria, from Mexico, from Jamaica, from America, from Australia, all around Europe, everywhere. And you've been here for a long time. So if you are new, don't be intimidated by it. Get involved. Whether you're on the live comments, whether you just want to read it, whether you want to just comment below after the video's up and you can't watch live, just get involved, because it's a great community. Which reminds me, Skype Goldbridge every Monday night at 8 and Thursday at 8, and then Saturday night at 8 is like a Q&A, big Q&A for an hour. So lots of interaction, and you can get on the show. Rodney is on every Tuesday night now. He started off just being a viewer on Skype, came on Skype and got the way through. So Mason Whitby's just subscribed, and if Mason Whitby's subscribed, that is the way forward. But it's 2 PM in Dallas. Marcus. That's breaking
wow.
news. Don't forget Canada, says Jeff Nielsen. The thing is, when you start naming countries, you're always going to forget somebody. But it's not intentional. Norway and Sweden, we get loads from them, but Finland will start moaning. So...
Still there?
Yeah. I was just reading a comment. So we're getting close to kick-off. We have not done a score prediction. Sampdoria finished 10th in the league last season, Serie A. I don't know whether this is their first Premier League, first pre-season game or not. I even had a search round to try and find that, and I couldn't find out. But give us your score prediction, Marcus.
I'm going to go with, based on this team, hopefully first half it'll be over, and I'm going to go 3-0.
We've got a 3-5-2 up on MUTV now, so I think they've finally clocked on to the fact that we are playing a 3-5-2, which is good. I've just made go on.
So I just saw a great comment from Youth TV. Apparently he's at the game with a United stand banner, and people watch out.
Well, tell him to take a picture and send it to your Twitter, and then you can send it to me and we'll put it up. And then we can have a look for it. But careful Howson doesn't eat it, because apparently he's there, though. Did I just say that? Well. It's only banter. It's only banter. So
Sampdoria lining up 4-3-1-2.
Yeah, well, I do watch a lot of Serie A. It started in the 90s, and obviously with my Italian spaghetti eating chin, I like to watch a bit of Italian football. So I think to be fair, if you want to watch another league this season, I know a lot of people watch La Liga, and the Classico games are obviously very good, but the Italian league is on the up. I mean, you see the money that Inter Milan have spent, and you see the money that AC Milan have spent. Juventus already in there. I think it's going to be a great league to watch this season. So if you are looking for another league to take on, I'd really would recommend Serie A. And Sampdoria mid-table last season, like I say, don't really have any stars there anymore. Obviously in the days of I remember Des Walker playing there, and David Platt, Mancini, Vialli, but
showing your age there, mate.
I'm showing my age. That's when I got into it, early 90s, after Italia 90 really.
I remember Sampdoria was shown a lot on that Channel 4 show. What was it, on a Sunday morning?
Yeah, I forget what it was called. James Richardson used to do it, didn't he?
That's it, yeah. But even then, that's going back some years. But right, so
timer will start underneath the score as soon as it kicks off. Because it's in Ireland, I would hope MUTV are pretty much on the ball. I know with the American games they were about 30 seconds behind to what American have. Maybe it'll flip round this time, you never know. But loads of people have dropped a like. Subscribers are ticking on nicely. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you get a little bit bored in the first half, remember the link in the video description to Super Brew is our Predictor League. It's free to enter, the United stand, got lots of prizes and stuff, and second place is up for grabs. Are you entering it, Marcus?
Hopefully, yeah. When I get time to enter it, yeah.
Well, if Marcus enters, at least you won't come last.
I don't even remember how I did on the other one last season. I didn't even check, to be honest. I didn't get an email saying I won, so I'm not really bothered.
We've kicked off anyway, and it's definitely a 3-5-2, so that's a big thumbs up straight away. It's not 4-3-3, it's a 3-5-2. No shocks. Lukaku obviously up front, Valencia on the right. It is Darmian as a left wing back, Blind taking his place in the back three, Smalling at the centre, Lindelof to the right. Matic sitting in front of them, Pogba and Pereira either side of him. So no excuses, Marcus. I think this is fasten your seatbelts time. It's on the players. We can't moan about Mourinho. He's picked the formation many of us want. He's picked a lot of the players many of us want. People like Mkhitaryan, Pereira, they've got to turn up and play well today. Not going to get on Matic's back at all anyway, but he might be a little bit rusty. So same thing as I said about people getting on Lindelof's back in the US tour. If Matic plays badly, and I don't think he will, certainly not the time to start saying he's a bad signing. It's probably his first pre-season game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, looking at him, he's had quite a few early touches of the ball already.
He's got a great left foot.
Yeah, he's playing it nice and simple. So he's not lost possession. I know it's only like a minute and a half in, but he's been under pressure a couple of times when he's had the ball, but he hasn't given it away yet.
Ben Lloyd's made a
sign.
contribution. Ben Lloyd has, and thanks Ben. He says it's a shame neither Rashford nor Martial are playing. Yeah, probably see one or hopefully Martial in the second half. My observation of Matic, and it's a very early one because we're only just 2 minutes in. I did say, and obviously a lot of people may not have heard me say this because I did say it at the start of the show an hour ago. When you're watching Matic tonight, good little bit of play by Mkhitaryan, gets it wide to Valencia. Yep. When you're watching Matic tonight, just think Fellaini, just think Carrick, because that's what we bought him to be, an improvement on those two. Carrick's obviously on the decline, that's not his fault, and Fellaini we've seen play a lot. And what I've seen from Matic in the first 2 minutes already, Marcus, is when he gets the ball, it's either one touch and he gets rid of it quickly, or he doesn't even take a touch. And for me, that is a big, big positive straight away. It's that movement from that player with the ball. And people think I'm on about pace. It's not. It's about how quick you move the ball. Fellaini, it's a slow first touch and then he's limited to a 5-yard pass. With Matic, he's just had it off Smalling, straight back to him, not even a touch.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, and I suppose that's really the basis for quick counter-attacking. You know, you got to have a good football brain around you to know who's around you.
And that's what I mean. I mean, people, when I go on about speed, people think I'm talking about you know Usain Bolt running around. It's not.
Yeah.
It's football speed. You know, you can be a slow player like Toni Kroos, but really, really fast because you read the game well. And when you get the ball, it's one touch pass, or it's not even one touch.
No, that's it. Yeah.
And Matic just started off well in that point. I mean, I must admit, I watched Matic play against United in April. I thought it was shocking, but so was most of Chelsea. I think the jury is out as to whether he's lost any of his ability or not, but hopefully not, because if he hasn't, he'll be a good signing.
Well, Mkhitaryan's got the ball here on the right. We've got an overlap on the left here. Darmian. Oh, unlucky. Oh, no, free kick. Yeah. Yeah, another good thing I noticed about Matic as well, you saying that, every time he's getting the ball, he's looking forwards first. He's always, you know, if his back's to goal, or he's in our half, he's always looking over his shoulder to see if there's anything on.
Yeah.
If not, he'll play it safe and he'll go backwards. But it's good that our first thought of our new CDM is to go forward. So that's something we've not seen last season, because obviously Fellaini passed it back and, you know, Carrick declining, go back, play it safe. So it'll be really good to see this coming season.
Well, Matic there, just under a little bit of pressure. First, you know, not a touch, quick pass, and that's what we want to see. So very, very, very positive start from United so far. 5 minutes in, not really had a chance yet, but I think that will come. We've started off brightly. I'd really love to know how many games Sampdoria had played, but of course, De Gea's in goal, which is good to see. He's a player we didn't think was going to be staying, which is a real positive for us this year. I know it's
that's it. I mean, you could almost say that, you know, that's a signing in himself. He's, you know, we've got him to stay. So I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of people go on about that, don't they? That you can't really call players who stay a new signing, but I really do think that, you know, De Gea, Pereira coming back, they are like new signings, really. And I think people like, well, that should stay. No, it's going to go. I really do think that people like Mkhitaryan and hopefully Martial can be like new signings as well, and even Pogba, because yeah, they did okay last season, but I don't think any of them hit the real heights. So that would be nice to see as well, if they can go on.
Yep. Can I just ask you, Mark, what time are you on?
I'm a few seconds behind you, I think.
Yeah, what are you on? Because I'll pause it and you can catch up.
I think it's only about 5 seconds. I'm on 5:40 now.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
I don't think it's anything major. That I know in the past we've had. It's disappointing. I think MUTV is such a, it's, you know, it's essential, and I don't mind putting money into the club, but I think the broadcasting has been pretty poor. You know, yours is ahead of mine here, but we're in the UK. And then the one I've got it on the desktop as well, because my plan this summer was, because I have to move into a different room when I'm watching United play, but I've got set up in another room. So I have got MUTV on my laptop, but if I just tried to put it on there, some people probably heard the commentary. That is probably about 30 seconds, nearly a minute behind. It's ridiculous.
It's amazing how these things are, you know, same country, and it's not the same time.
No.
Strange.
Red Prepper, thank you very much. She says that Sampdoria have played one game. That was on Saturday and they got beat 2-1.
Do you know who it was against?
I don't know. Red Prepper will probably come back. But it's... You know, I think that's one thing United haven't done in this pre-season. And, you know, Liverpool think they're going to win the league again because they beat Bayern Munich 3-0. But we've not blasted anybody.
Oh, wait till you see that.
Oh, was that Daley Blind? I think De Gea was signing an autograph, wasn't he? Was it a goal?
No.
What's the referee giving then?
Modern tech delay markers. Oh, cheers, Rory. Oh, sorry.
What's he said?
Modern day tech.
Oh, they're trying to see if it's a goal or not. It's nowhere near a goal.
I think he was on about the timer. But would that be classed as a pass back?
No. If he's given a pass back for that, basically, if you're not watching at home, Daley Blind does a pass back. He's given it as a pass back. I thought he had to pick it up. So Daley Blind passes it back to De Gea. It's nearly going in. So De Gea, about a metre off the line, palms it away. And the referee's given a pass back. I haven't seen a pass back given as a free kick for about 20 years. And that's when keepers pick it up. So to palm it away and be given as a pass back is just ridiculous. It's funny. At least it's a free... How that is a pass back, though.
Well, whatever they've classed it as, very dangerous situation now.
I think the ref's on drugs.
You know, just get out there and get your body on the line there, because this is going to be belted at them.
Back though, because I've seen it like keepers run and punch a pass back, and it's not a pass back. So this is like football's becoming a joke by the day. Neymar for 200 million, pass backs for a little claw at it. It's the WWE. To be fair to Sampdoria, they were never going to score from that though. United had every player back. We're on the break at the moment with Valencia.
Yeah. It's 1-0.
It's 1-0. I'm going to see it now. Mkhitaryan switches it to Darmian. Darmian with the cross. And Mkhitaryan at the back. Lovely little goal. Lovely breaking goal as well.
Fantastic. I mean, considering that started off from inside our own area as well.
Yeah.
The pace and the speed. Yeah, the pace and speed of that attack. Absolutely fantastic. What a counter attack. I mean, really.
Back to front in no time.
And a positive sign for me in that bit of play was that young lad, Pereira, was the only player ahead of Mkhitaryan in that play until it got crossed. So that lad must have some speed on him.
Good cross by Darmian as well. You know, not known for his defensive traits, but that'll do. Lovely little cross, and Mkhitaryan unmarked. Lukaku nearly got there.
That's fantastic counter attack.
It's a really good goal. Really good goal. Yeah. And the great thing is, for everybody at home, and I'm sure you're sharing what me and Marcus feel as well, this is the formation we want to see. And 10 minutes in, fast from back to front. You know, Valencia would not be able to do that in a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3. But with the license to get forward in the 3-5-2, you get Valencia as a winger and a right back. I find this formation, I've said it so many times, I should copyright it, but 3-5-2, it's cheating to me. It feels like we're cheating because it just feels like we've got way more players on the pitch, but it's the brilliance of the formation and how it works. It gives you so many more players and so much speed. Really pleased with that. Anyway, I better do the formation before people start moaning.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to update your score, mate, and... But yeah, I mean, fantastic counter attack that was. I mean, that had everything in it. It was speed, a great cross from Darmian.
We really should give the referee an assist, really, for that joke of a pass back. But it played into United's hands, really, because I think Sampdoria thought, oh, we're going to score here, and United caught them on the break. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, it's. But of course, I don't think we would have done that if it was the midfield of Carrick, Fellaini and Pogba.
No.
That would not have happened at all. So you can already see the difference with, I mean...
well, you know, let's be fair as well. I mean, I'm not a fan of Fellaini, and I know you are, but I would also say we couldn't do that with Zlatan.
No,
because
yeah,
it's that we're now setting ourselves up with players who can, as I said, back to front in no time, from defence to attack in no time. Valencia bombing down the right, Mkhitaryan goes out wide to Darmian, into the box, goal, 1-0. And there's so much pace, like you said, Pereira and Pogba were bombing forward. They weren't involved in the play, but they're bombing forward. And we couldn't do that with Zlatan either. So yeah, you're right to say Carrick and Fellaini, and I'd even say Mata's probably not got the pace for that anymore. But
I think as well it was a positive sign to see. I think we had 4 players in the box there, or around the box, when that went in the net. So that was good to see. We got a few people in there as targets as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there was in there.
Owen Camilleri says, Mark, play Football Manager 18 with Man United. Mate, I'd love to do stuff like that with you. I really would. I'd love to do more FIFA, but I've got a full-time job, and I do United Stand 2, sometimes 3 times a day. So that is my life, and I've got a brand new kid, and I've got 2 other kids. It's just time. I'd love to do Football Manager, but this isn't my full-time job. So, but who knows? You never know. There might be some time freed up at some point. But they're all great ideas, is what I'm saying. I'd like to do them, but maybe Marcus could do it. He's got loads of time. There you go, Marcus. There's a little side project. Do a Football Manager.
I've got a side project with big boy Ross at the minute.
Yeah, but I nearly said cult. It's not even that big. You only get about 5 people watching, and 2 of them's you.
That's Ross's channel.
Both your mums.
We are in the works on trying to do something.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a shout out. You might double your viewership.
But we got a corner here. I mean, Pereira again.
Yeah, I like Pereira in the midfield. I like this formation because, like I said, it's like, because we've been so deprived of this, it does feel like cheating. Like we have got 2 more men than we should have, because you've got Lukaku up front, which was Zlatan last year, and then we had 3 static midfielders behind him, not supporting him. In this one, you've got Lukaku up front, Mkhitaryan behind him, Pogba and Pereira charging forward as well, Valencia down the right, and then defensively we're sound because we've got Matic sat there in front of 3 centre-backs and Darmian. Yeah.
Let's not forget as well, I mean, playing the 3-5-2, we can also change to a 5-3-2, bodies back. We can block out the midfield, we can block out with defence. So
yeah, it's adaptable within the game, and I think United have got to do that this season, because I think if you go away to somewhere like City or Liverpool last year, where Sampdoria scored there, where we really shut up shop, what I'd rather see us do is go to Anfield or the empty had 3-5-2 like this, but if we're under the cosh a bit, adapt it to a 4-3-3. And then if we're doing well, change it again. I think if we're away against some of the lesser teams, don't play Mkhitaryan as a number 10 behind Lukaku. Put Rashford or Martial up and play proper two up front. There's a lot of adaptability, but I do think this is the way forward. And I think Mourinho's not a stupid man. He's played this formation 3 times now. He's getting the fans excited by it. It's the way we want to see United playing. I think if he went into the new season and went back to that 4-3-3, which, to be honest, we all find quite boring, we'd all be very disappointed by it. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come.
I hope so, yeah, because we're investing a lot of money in young attacking players. So hopefully that, with getting these players, we're not going to play dull, boring football. I'd like us to go back to the old ways in a way. I mean, that counter-attack was a perfect example. Like to see more attacking football, but if we've got a 1-0 or a 2-0 in the last 5-10 minutes, then shut up shop, try to get a clean sheet, and call it a day. But I think this is, like you said, the way forward now. Not a lot of teams play it like this, and with Valencia, if we're linked, we're linked with that Aurier as well. So maybe if that Aurier comes in at right back, Valencia could push forward. And the same with Perisic. If he comes out on the left,
Well, David
You know,
Quickshot just said that actually. He says if we get Perisic, we'll be real league contenders because we'll have the balance down the left-hand side that we've got down the right with Valencia.
Yeah. So it would make sense to get Perisic. I mean, although I would love us to be in for Neymar, like I said to you today, I think it would be a fantastic signing, number 7, but it doesn't make sense for the team. So it's probably a wiser decision in the long run to go for Perisic.
I'll tell you what 3-5-2 does do though, because in relation to last season, even though I thought Griezmann was going to sign, I did sort of think with that 4-3-3 we used to play, where basically you're wasting Mkhitaryan, making him play out wide, static. You've got midfield 3, but it's not an attacking midfield 3. It was very Fellaini, Pogba, Herrera, all working hard. A left winger, and then Zlatan up front. I often did think, yeah, we're going to sign Griezmann, but where are we going to play him? I look at this formation and I think, you know, if we did have a Griezmann or we did have a Bale or we did have a Neymar, it's much better suited to having that sort of player because you've got that 2 up front, you've got
that's right, yeah,
3 in the midfield. One of them can be attacking. It does create a lot more opportunities if we did want to bring in a superstar player, and I don't actually think we will, but I think the formation in general is just, it gives far more fluidity and creativity to us, and like I say, it does feel like cheating because we have been so rigid in the formation we played last year, and I think this one is far more dynamic.
Yeah, but it's also good that the players are getting drilled in different formations as well for different situations. So hopefully there's a couple of formations up his sleeve where, say, we go to the likes of Stoke and we know what a tough game it is going away at Stoke and West Brom. So maybe like a 4-5-1 would be better suited at those places compared to a 3-5-2. So it's good that the players are getting the experience of the different formations. Smalling, good header out. Offside. Couple of people in the comments, Mark, want to know what the goal was like. They missed it.
Well, it really was. I saw somebody saying it there. I think it was Ryan Young saying it was like United of old under Fergie. Basically, they got given a free kick for a pass back, which, you know, I've never seen a free kick for a pass back in years anyway, but he didn't even pick it up. He palmed it away. Valencia bombing down the right on the break, gave it to Mkhitaryan, switched it out to Darmian, came back into the box, and Lukaku just missed it, but Mkhitaryan headed it in. And the great thing about the goal was it really was back to front in about 5 seconds. It was, you know, we haven't scored a goal like that in so long. I know it's pre-season, but you generate habits in pre-season, and that this formation has just got so much potential and speed and options in it that we couldn't do that. As Marcus said, we wouldn't be able to do that with Fellaini and Carrick in the team. We wouldn't be able to do it with Zlatan either. It's that lack of pace. We really were reliant on, you know, set pieces or slow build-up play last season, and I think this side, you know, Mkhitaryan. I meant to say that, Marcus. Mkhitaryan is a different player when we've seen him in this pre-season. When he's got no defensive responsibilities, he really is just the number 10, get the ball and go at the opposition.
I think he's a natural at the number 10. In the way we're setting up and the way we think we're going to set up throughout the season, Mkhitaryan, number 10, without doubt.
Oh, he could be absolutely sensational this season. I don't want to put that sort of pressure onto him, but he could be, you know, one of the players of the season if he's allowed to play that role. Well,
you would think, wouldn't you, with the individuals we got at the club, that, you know, when you think of who can play the number 10, I mean, for me, the obvious choice would have been Mata. Yeah.
Well, Mata can be a great player for us this season. He's so consistent. Yeah. But I think Mkhitaryan, out of the 2 players on their day, at their best, Mkhitaryan's probably the better player.
I think, yeah, especially for the counter-attacking football as well, with the pace. There's 2. Oh, thought that was in then. Unlucky.
Valencia coming down the right. Cross coming in. He should have scored. Mkhitaryan again, straight at the keeper. Header from just outside the 6-yard box. But, you know, that's a positive as well. 20 minutes in and United have actually, you know, they're entertaining to watch. And how many bad first halves have we had? Not just under Mourinho, but you know, it was the signature of Van Gaal, a bad first half. So, and we're pressing well as well. You know, Sampdoria are having to work it out from the back. We're not giving them any time or space.
I think that as well. That attack again, it's come down the right hand side. Valencia crossing it into Mkhitaryan. Nothing. We're not doing any bit of play down our left hand side. So to me, that shows that we are unbalanced down that side, and
we've been like that for probably a good couple of years now. Though we just, you know, I think it's one of the problems that Martial always had. That people say he's playing badly, but we're very swayed down the right, and we have been for a couple of years. And if you're Martial or whoever plays on the left hand side, it's difficult because the ball doesn't come down there that often.
Oh, that's right, and that's probably, you could say with Martial being there, that's probably why he was not a lot, but he was a little bit inconsistent last season because of that unnatural balance down that side. It's nowhere near as fluent as the right hand side, and it's quite evident in this game so far.
Als Horton probably asking the question a lot of people will want to know if they're not actually watching. How's Matic doing? I think the fact that we really kept our eye on him in the first 5 minutes and it was good, and I've not really noticed him for the last 20. A couple of good passes. I think that's a good thing. I really do think Carrick was the genius in this position of effective, but you don't notice them. I think sometimes with it, it's a bit like a good referee. You don't notice them if they're doing the job well. And Matic, I've certainly not really noticed anything about him for the last 20 minutes. Lukaku with a good shot there. Having said that, I do remember him switching the play to Valencia a couple of minutes ago, and that's something I've said to everybody in this game. If you are watching Matic, just think Carrick as he is now, and think Fellaini as he is now, because that's what we've bought Matic for. And I think it's so clear that Matic actually can move the ball a lot quicker than Fellaini, certainly, and he's got a good passing range. And obviously, he's not going to be as match fit as the rest of the team because he's only been training, he's not been playing, so he's done all right. For me, if I was asked who my worst player on the pitch is, he's not been terrible by any means, but I think he's been pretty inconsistent in the pre-season tour so far. I'd probably say Daley Blind, who's normally one of our most consistent players. I think he's off a bit at the moment, but everybody else has done very, very well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Matt. I think when you're not paying attention to players, or they're being quiet, that usually means they're doing the simple things well, doesn't it? So we had that numerous times last season with Herrera, and quite often the unsung hero of the team. So hopefully, Matic, I think he's done really well.
Yeah.
Considering what he's only been in there a couple of days, and he just looks like he's been there for a couple of seasons. He's shouting at the team. He's telling Pogba, move there, spread it out.
There was a good comment in the live comments there. I bet it's whizzed by. Why is Daley Blind? Well, Alexander Els just said it as well. Why is Daley Blind taking the corners when we've got Pereira on the pitch? We just scored from a corner in the last pre-season game, and
yeah, as long as it. I've seen Rashford take a lot of corners for us in this pre-season as well. I don't like that.
No, Pereira should be on the corners. He's almost Beckham-esque, and he can put a cross in here. It's not a very good cross. Set him up for a fall there.
No, but again, at least that's a positive. He's not playing it back. He's thinking of crossing it into the danger zone.
I tell you what, though, we're such a tall team now. You got Pogba, Lukaku, Matic, Smalling. Darmian's quite tall.
Bay as well.
Bay when he plays.
I'd assume Lindelof's over 6 foot as well.
Yeah. I think Lindelof's 6'2", so a lot of height in the team. Rude9 the Master says Mata is better than Mkhitaryan. I'm glad somebody said that because I disagree with you, but not to a massive extent. I really do like Mata, but I think that's a good thing that we're having that debate because I think they are so such good players. Yeah,
I think Mkhitaryan Mata's been a fantastic servant for us. I think he's a fantastic player, but I think his lack of speed is an issue for a winger or as the number 10 role. So for me, I would put Mkhitaryan just above him.
Mata is the thing Mata has over Mkhitaryan, though, if you base it on last season, is that Mata had a better season than Mkhitaryan, and he is far more consistent. So I think looking at the bench, he might play a different team in the second half.
Well, I didn't hear him say that he was going to do the wholesale changes again.
Down the
so
left.
It'll be interesting to see who he brings on.
Switch to Valencia. Give it to Pereira there.
Pereira all over. We're praising him up, and he does that.
I think he's had a good pre-season. I doubt very much he's worked his way into the first team plans, though.
No, but hopefully he does get a few games this season. I don't think we'll see much of Twanzebe. He's not played much on the tour, I don't think, or what he has played has been not very long. I'd like to see Fosu Mensah get some minutes, but as you said before, and a few people in the live comments, maybe a loan move to Watford, because that was reported, could be a good thing.
Jordan Curley says, Mark, do you like the Irish team at all? Yeah, I lived there for 3 years. I do follow them. I used to like them a lot more when Roy Keane played, because he was one of my favourite players. But no, I do follow them. I remember '94 World Cup under Jack Charlton. We all supported them. There was no England, so no. Republic of Ireland have always been quite a popular team in England. I don't think it works the other way. In fact, I know it doesn't. But
you get another tack down the right hand side.
Yeah. Pereira and Valencia have actually sparked quite a good build-up play, actually.
Yeah, I mean, considering Lukaku, he's quite. I didn't realise he was so big. I mean, obviously he's a well-built lad, but when I see him in pre-training, he just looks like a monster.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Absolute monster.
But I think that's the thing. If you can combine physicality with speed, then what time's the Super Cup kick-off on Tuesday? They're saying it's 4:30 here.
Yeah, it starts at 4:30. I don't think it kicks off till like 7ish though.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it's. I'll check now.
Might have to finish work early.
Well, just to change topic, apparently Neymar's agreed a 5-year deal.
Oh yeah, I had seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday. Yeah, 7:45 kickoff.
All right. Well, I won't need to finish work early then. Philip Collier, I would like to see Darmian replaced by a specialist. Yeah, I think we all agree with that. Does anyone know how long Shaw is out for? I think he's back in September.
Yeah, let's not forget we've got Rojo as well. So if we're going to play 3 at the back, imagine Bay, Lindelof, and Rojo. To me, I mean that's a solid 3.
Well, I think I always look at Mourinho teams, and he is brilliant with defence and centre backs. So I looked at what we've done this summer. We brought Lindelof in. Obviously, like you said, Rojo's injured. We've still got Blind. We've still got Jones and Smalling. We've got Bay. We've got Twanzebe. And even before we started playing the 3-5-2, if anyone saw a show I did might have been the start of June time, I talked about 2 formations. One was the 4-3-3 and one was the 3-5-2, and it was when we were getting linked to 2 strikers, and that's what made me think about it. So it was by chance, really. But it was when we were linked to Morata and Belotti.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I think anybody... I don't know whether I've got it here, actually. Yeah, so this is up on the screen now. This is from the start of the June show. And funny enough, Matic was there. This was at the start of June. We were linked to Matic and Dyer at the time. Perisic on the left, we were still linked to him. And I had Morata and Rashford up front. So that was the first sort of time I started thinking about it. And the real reason I started thinking about it as well was not just because we were linked to 2 strikers, but also because the number of centre-backs we've got. And I think when Rojo's fit, Mourinho will want to play him. But I think he'll want to play Bailly as well. And he's just bought Lindelof. And I think he likes Smalling again. And he's keen on Jones. And Daley Blind's been quite good. So that's 6 centre-backs. Well, you don't have 6 centre-backs if you're playing 2. So I think that is a big sort of positive for this formation as well, is that he's got so many centre-backs. And Mourinho likes to build from the back. So not only is it going to be hopefully the formation we use that really gives us width and plenty of numbers on the attack, but hopefully it will, like I say, Rojo as the left-sided centre-back would be perfect. Maybe Lindelof or Bailly on the other side, or one as the centre.
So, looking at that team there that you just put up, you got Perisic on the left, then then we have Martial as well, and I'm thinking to myself, there's nowhere in that team for Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I think Luke Shaw's got to work his way back in anyway, regardless. I like Luke Shaw, but the problem with Luke Shaw is, does he have the fitness? I mean, I think Luke Shaw can be the best left back in the league, but what I can't guarantee you is that he won't break down again a month after coming back and being out for another 2 months. That, I don't particularly rate Phil Jones, but even if I did, I'd still sell him, because one thing Phil Jones is consistent at, and that's getting injuries. And if you're an injury-prone player, you're no good to United. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you can't play 35, 40, 45 games a season, and the most you can do is 3 or 4, and then you're going to get injured for a month, then that's ultimately frustrating and not good enough. And that is my concern about Luke Shaw. I don't blame him for it. His leg got snapped in too. It takes a lot to come back from that, but we can't just... I don't think we can have Darmian and Blind as our left backs as backup for Luke Shaw. I think that is the whole point of buying a Perisic, is that he can play that position, and then Luke Shaw can come in. But Perisic is 2-footed, so that he could go on the right. He could also play where Mkhitaryan's playing in this game. So
we've got Daley Blind on that side as well.
Yeah.
Then as we're seeing in this game, Darmian, he can play left, he can play right.
I mean, I'm not convinced. I don't know about you and everybody at home. I think we always thought that we'd see a few going out the door more than we had. I mean, I think Rooney's very significant and very right that we sold him, and Janusaj as well. But I'm not convinced we're going to sell anybody else. I think many of us expected Smalling or Jones to go. The only reason I think Smalling might go is because I think we might get a good fee for him. I don't know. Or Smalling might force a move himself because he wants to play first team football.
Yeah, he could do. Yeah. Could also say the same thing about Phil Jones as well, couldn't you, really?
Yeah.
But who would be prepared to take a risk on him with his track record?
Well, nobody with any brains should, because he cannot play. He cannot play longer than 6 games. I think that was, he was at United. How many years has he been at United? 4 or 6, and that last season, 6 games in a row, was the record, which is shocking for a centre back. Oh, Pereira should have scored. No, it was Mkhitaryan again. Yeah. He should have had a hat-trick.
Another close one again.
He's had 3 headers in this game, Mkhitaryan. I think he scored the hardest one.
I mean, listen. Yeah. But again, that's the 4th, 5th attack down the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I mean, either Sampdoria have got a massive weak point on their left side, or we just don't want to go down our left.
Aren't we? Yeah. We went over 5,000 people watching there. Some of you must be new. Make sure you click the subscribe channel and get involved with the United Stand. Live every night at 8 o'clock. Live every game with the team news all the way through till full time. Skype shows where you can Skype in and have your say. In fact, we've got one tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So get involved with the community. Click that subscribe button and get involved. You're very welcome. I think you found a fantastic football community, and if you're a Manchester United fan, even better. But you're very welcome. So subscribe, get involved, drop a like. But we're still 9 minutes off half time. I thought we were a bit closer than that, but it's been
Yeah.
an enjoyable game.
It has. It's been a very entertaining game. I think it's all been United, apart from the back pass by Blind. I think Blind has played really well. Minus that pass. Matic, quite impressive. Mkhitaryan going forward has been impressive. Valencia as well, bombing on. Let's not forget he's not a spring chicken anymore either, so that's good to see. Just that left-hand side, mate, for me. Because if we keep on going down the right, it's too predictable. So something's got to be done about the left.
Yeah, well, I think he's been quite open about the fact that he wants to sign somebody.
Bad corner that was.
That was Pereira. I don't think Pereira's been that good this game, to be honest. He's done better.
That's a decent ball in from Blind.
Pereira with a bit of time. No, not so good.
Well, Matic in well there. Oh, isn't that nice of him?
A lot of people are very impressed with Matic in this game.
Yeah, he's just broke some girl's glasses with the ball. He's just apologised for it.
Shame he hasn't got his checkbook. Get some nice Ray-Bans. See, come and play for United and you automatically become liked and idolised. Play for Chelsea and no one likes you.
I've got to say, I think Matic has done very well. Very well. He hasn't looked out of place.
No.
He's read the game well. He's done his job. He's doing it again there.
Good interception again.
Yeah.
I think it's been fantastic, yeah. I will hold judgment because Sampdoria is not...
not the strongest opposition, is it?
It's not Man City at the Etihad, but
No.
it's little steps. And the biggest thing I said at the start of the game was it's more about how he fits in against the rest of the United players. And I think you put your nail on the head there. He hasn't looked out of place with a United side that's been training and playing pre-season games for 3 weeks now, so that's good.
Oh, I think I'm very impressed with it. So far, I mean, he's only played not 39, 40 minutes in a United shirt, but it's been worth getting, I think.
Yeah. Well, as I said, even before we signed him, if it turns out to be Matic, then Matic is better than nobody, and it's certainly better than Fellaini. So, Danny Smith says Matic is bossing the midfield. A word of warning: it is early days, and it is only Sampdoria. But I think the positive is that in relation to his teammates who have been playing together for a few weeks now, he looks like he's been playing with them for a long time. So that is a real positive. Bigger tests to come, but
if he plays Tuesday, that will be, we'll see how good he is.
Yeah, I hope he does play on Tuesday as well.
So I mean, although he has done amazingly well for his, for the short time that he's been here and been involved with the team, Tuesday will be a good read on. I'll
tell you what, who else has been good in the pre-season, and I purposely bring it up because I know what you think about him. But Chris Smalling. You can never give him any positive. Daley Blind, your man Blind has just been absolutely sent back to Holland there. See, I think Blind's been poor this game, to be honest, and I do like him, but he has just absolutely been skinned like a banana. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, apart from that back pass, Mark, I've not seen him do anything wrong. To be honest, he's been up in the attacking third.
I think he's looked sloppy all pre-season, to be honest. But it is only pre-season. I mean, I do like Daley Blind, but I think he has looked a bit sloppy all pre-season. Hence the pass back to De Gea, which was sloppy. But no, anyway, back to the point. Let's not dodge the question. I think Smalling's been good. on this pre-season, and he's been very good again.
Oh, nearly an own goal there by Lindelof. Jesus.
We don't want that. The haters will be on him.
Yes, I mean, to be honest, I can't really say any player has been absolutely diabolical. Smalling, I mean, he's been good against the average sides and the B teams of Madrid and Barcelona. But again, like this game, you can't really say he's been absolutely fantastic because Sampdoria are not the greatest anyway.
I tell you what, we should not be conceding goals from corners anymore. There's so much
we shouldn't
power
be. Not
and height in that side.
No. It's pretty much a certainty, I think, that Smalling's going to start on Tuesday because Bay's out.
Yes.
And Phil Jones is out as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think.
And Daley Blind, I think.
I
know Jones is out. I don't know whether Blind got the ban as well, but Jones did, didn't he?
Yeah. So I mean, it's an absolutely certainty that Smalling will start. So reserve judgment.
Yeah, and
until
the fact
Tuesday.
that Smalling's going to start, for me, if Smalling's starting because Bay's not fit, surely that means he's going to stay. Ferry Sodi's made a contribution. He says 3 at the back makes useless defenders look good. Yeah, I think he's talking about Smalling. Yeah. Pogba's just sent an Italian midfielder back to Genoa, but Lukaku's offside. Usman makes a good point, and I would agree with this, and it's something that I loved Carrick for. Matic is very good at reading the game, and if you are good at reading the game, then your lack of pace, again, as I said, if you've got a footballing brain, it doesn't really matter how fast you are because you'll gain 2 yards on everybody else if you can read the game better and you can move the ball quick. And in this game, Matic has done it very well.
Yeah, there's
just took
been a few
out
comments.
You might get a yellow card for that.
There's been a few comments tonight asking about the Super Cup game. As far as I know, in the UK, it's being shown on BT Sport and ITV1.
Matic is absolutely pollaxed, this lad here.
Well, at least he's got some fight in him.
Yeah, well, yeah. Timmy Gunn saying that Matic has done well, but Pereira's not really grabbed the opportunity. I think that's fair. I really do like Pereira, but he hasn't done bad. But he probably could have done a little bit. I think what he's saying is that Pereira's not done bad, but if you want to force your way into the team, you've got to be 8 or 9 out of 10, and he certainly hasn't been that. I'd probably put him at a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, I think 7.
Michael Blomley says, who should he bet on for next goal? I don't know, mate, because I don't know. We don't know what the subs are going to be.
I hope he doesn't change the whole 11.
Yeah, I hope not as well. But
I think that will ruin the game in a way if he changes the whole 11. And I like to see this team get some minutes as a unit together. I see Fellaini's down there warming up, so
yeah. It wouldn't be United if we couldn't depress us by bringing that clown on.
Oh, Matta's warming up as well. There he is. There's the man.
Just get rid of him. I really would. That would make my summer now. Keep De Gea. Pereira's back. The signings have been good. Sell Fellaini. Don't get much better than that. But it's never going to happen. What I don't want to see is I don't really want to see a day where Matic and Fellaini are in the same midfield. I think that's one too far. Lukaku. Got too many around him. Sampdoria will clear. So we're approaching half time.
Yeah,
Man of the half, Marcus.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to say Matic for me.
I think everybody. It's the obvious choice.
Yeah, I think he's done really well. Mkhitaryan has been good.
Yeah.
Valencia has been good.
Yeah, I think you've got to give it to Matic in all fairness, simply because it's his first pre-season game. It's his first run out with a team he doesn't play for, and he's fitted him like a glove. So I would always hazard that with a warning sign and say it is only Sampdoria, it is only pre-season. We must never become Liverpool fans and think that, you know, everything's rosy in the garden because of a pre-season game. But in fairness to him, he can't really do any more than he's done, and he's done very well.
He has done. Pleasantly surprised, in my opinion. I think he's. I didn't really expect him to play this game actually, because he's only been here a couple of days. But obviously Mourinho trusts him enough to throw him in at the deep end and see what he's got. And I think he's come up trumps with it, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Are you going to pop off for a break or stay on?
Let me just. I'll mute my mic, but I'm just going to go and do something quickly, and then I'll come back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a comment here from Alpha. There's always a few like this, isn't there? He says, Pereira's been poor, Mark Goldbridge favourite, but sorry to say, mate, your man has been rubbish. And he swore. I disagree. We were just talking about it a couple of minutes ago. I think Pereira, if he wants to be in the United starting 11, needs to do better than that half. But he wasn't poor. I thought he did it okay. He did as well as anybody else. But I'd agree he needs to do better. But, you know, I'm not going to say he was fantastic when he wasn't. Carlos Render makes a good point. He says Matic knows the system. It's why Jose wanted him. Man United don't need any more players, especially with this formation, says our keeper, saying. I disagree with that. We're so imbalanced. We're so imbalanced. Marcus was saying it in the first half. Everything goes down the right. We've got to get somebody down the left, whether that's Luke Shaw back and fit, whether it's Perisic as the left wing back. And then I think we've got a very, very good chance next season of being successful. Not going to say we're going to run away with anything, because I think a lot of our success next season depends on what everybody else does in the transfer window. But I think many of our signings have been very shrewd. That goal in the first half, for those who didn't see it, starts off with a pass back. I don't know why it was even a free kick, but it would have been a miracle if Sampdoria had scored. We had our whole team back. But within seconds, we're from back to front, and it's very much like United of old with the breaking on the counter-attack at pace. Valencia running down the right, gives it to Mkhitaryan, puts it out to Darmian, men bombing into the box, which we were talking about in the first half, and Mkhitaryan's on the end of it, and it's 1-0. I think Sampdoria, being the typical Italian team, have defended very well, but we've moved the ball around really well. I've been impressed by Matic. You know, I never wanted Matic to come to United. I wanted a different sort of player, a more obvious, tenacious player. You know, maybe a Nainggolan or a Fabinho, and I think many people felt like that. But what I would say about Matic is, I know what sort of player Matic is. We all do. We've seen him in the Premier League over the last few years. But do I know enough of him that I would study his game and watch him week in, week out? Of course not. I'm a Manchester United fan. But I did know that he had a good passing range. I know that he can put his foot in. And obviously, playing for somebody like Chelsea and winning a couple of Premier League titles, he's going to have talent. I always said he was a good player. I just wondered about whether his movement suited our midfield three, which has always been very static under Mourinho and Van Gaal, with Fellaini in there and Carrick in there. So what I was looking for in the first half was really think about Fellaini, think about Carrick, and think about what Matic is doing that is different to them. And clearly he's quicker than Carrick and Fellaini. But the most important thing, and I think some people have fallen for this, and I tried to explain it, and I think only now will they start to really understand what I was saying. We need speed in that midfield. Now Matic isn't quick, but it's not literal speed. It's not Usain Bolt speed. It's football speed. And what Matic appears to have is something that I didn't really know, because I think you have to watch him a lot to know this. But when Fellaini gets a pass into him, he always takes a touch, and he can only really pass it 5 metres. What I saw even in the first 2 minutes of this game with Matic is when he gets the ball, if he does take a touch, his other foot's moving already to play it, so he moves the ball quickly. But a lot of the time he'll only take 1 touch. So when the back four give it him, 1 touch back. That is 1, maybe 2 seconds quicker movement of the ball than Fellaini straight away. So that's impressive. His reading of the game is intelligent, like Carrick in his prime. He's strong. He nearly snapped a Sampdoria player in 2. So he can't do any more than what he's done in that first half. It is only Sampdoria. It is the first game of the season. It is pre-season, sorry. But the impressive thing is that's his first pre-season game as well. It's his first game with his new players, and he didn't look out of place. So, you know, I'm not going to run off and get the red carpet out for Matic. And I certainly don't think we should be doing the chant that Vidic had, because he was a great, and I think we should create a new song for Matic if he's good enough. But he can't do any more than that. I'd still say the jury's out, but he can't do any more than that, and it's a very positive start. Very similar to Lukaku, really. I think Lukaku's settled in well as well. And, you know, Lukaku hasn't looked like really scoring in this game, but he certainly causes the opposition problems. But that 3-5-2, it works so well, and they need to play it more, and they need to get the right sort of players into it. But Mkhitaryan is such a different player when he hasn't got any defensive responsibility and he's playing central. I think out on the wing it's just a waste of time. He gets knocked off the ball, he's stuck out wide. But in this position, very, very good. And ultimately, I agree with Sujay Kar. Man of the match is Valencia by a long way. I think many people will have forgotten that, but Valencia was fantastic in that half. It was him because of the goal. He's absolutely bossed the right hand side. He's the captain. He's Mr. Consistent. And to be fair, I think sentimentality, people are saying Matic, which has been very impressive. But realistically, I think if you open your eyes, it is Valencia who's been the standout player. But everybody's played fairly well. I do agree that that Pereira should have grabbed the opportunity more than he did, but he didn't look out of place, which is always positive. Daley Blind, I think, still looks sloppy. He's looked sloppy all pre-season, but I like Blind, and hopefully he'll get back on it. Jonathan Garbutt's made a contribution. He says Mkhitaryan was my man of the match, with Valencia second and Matic third. Pre-season, he's bossing the game. Still don't feel we're feeding Lukaku enough. Dara Carolan has made a contribution. Thank you, Dara. Ben Lloyd has said, I'm scared if we get Perisic that Martial won't play because he's been played on the left instead of up front. We'll have to see, Ben. We might see Martial in the second half. I've got no idea what we're going to do in the second half, whether we're going to make a load of subs or not. But I hope not. I'd like to see this team come out again and have at least another 10 minutes, because I think they've done very, very well. But yeah, all in all, I'm very, very positive. I think we've certainly entertained, and that's not always a guarantee with United at the moment. And I really do like it. And I know I keep saying it feels like we're cheating when we play a 3-5-2, because it feels like we've got 2 more players on the pitch than normal. But I think that is just what a waste of time, that 4-3-3 formation we played last season. I mean, it genuinely, let's be honest, it was Mourinho grinding out results because he couldn't trust the side. A lot of people behind the ball. This formation, you've got Matic as the centre defensive midfielder, you've got 3 centre-backs, you've got your full-backs who are basically your wingers, you've got Pogba and Herrera who can attack, you've got Mkhitaryan in a free roll, and you've got Lukaku. There's just so many options in the final third. And I'm just watching that goal back now, and it really is all about Valencia's running down the right. Really, really good. Mkhitaryan, I think, fed him in the first place. Mkhitaryan switching the play to Darmian, and then Mkhitaryan bombing into the box. Lukaku nearly getting on the end of it, but Mkhitaryan's there to head it home. So, yeah, very, very positive. It will be interesting what happens and how we move forward, because we are playing West Ham a week on Sunday, and we have got the Super Cup in 6 days. So we'll start to see what Mourinho's first team is, and I think that's going to be something to sort of discuss over the coming days, because there's no Herrera on tonight, there's no Martial, there's no Lingard, there's no Rashford, there's no Bailly, and obviously Bailly can't play in the Super Cup anyway. But options are there. I still really do feel, and Mourinho will obviously know it because he's hinted at it, we really do need a left-sided player to play in the left wing back role. I think Darmian obviously set the goal up and he's done okay, but if we want to win titles, Darmian's a useful squad player. He's a useful backup, but he can't be the first choice left wing back, because we need more. You basically want to clone Valencia and put them at left wing back. Fortunately, that for me was Mendy, but he's at Man City. But maybe Aurier could play there. I don't know. I don't know enough about him to know whether he could play as a left wing back. But I genuinely do think it is Perisic. Apparently, the latest news is that we're not in for Perisic. We've not made an inquiry about him for a number of weeks. Inter Milan boss said it at the weekend, and Di Marzio said it again today. So maybe that ship has sailed. But I think Perisic would have been perfect as the left wing back. And for those who doubt it, let's not forget, Valencia was a winger turned into a right back, and Perisic could easily be a left wing back, because you're not a left back, you're a wing back. Carl Watkins says he only saw 3 warming up. As sure as night follows day, I bet one of them's Fellaini. and it'll probably be Fellaini for Pereira. But I'd like to see Martial. Jay Sellers says, I don't understand why Jose brings on Martial with the likes of Fellaini. It's a constant bugbear of mine, Jay, and everybody at home. Martial's one of my favourite players with Rashford, and I think that will change this season. Hopefully I'll have a few more favourite players, but I really like Martial and Rashford. One of my frustrations last season, it almost felt deliberate at times, that Martial would only get a chance when Mourinho changed the team into quite a static defensive team. Martial never gets a chance in this sort of a team where we're on the front foot and there's a lot of space. He brings him on when the midfield is slow, and it's almost like he's setting him up not to be able to do it. Maybe he's testing him, you know, flip it the other way. Maybe he's put him into difficult situations so he has to graft and work hard. But I've said it a few times about Martial. What I want to see with Martial is Mourinho just say, right, you know what, I back you, I'm going to play you for 10 games in a row in the Premier League. If you haven't done it after 10 games, then you might never play again. But stop just playing him, oh, he has a good game, but then he has a bad half, so you don't play him for 2 games. Give him a consistent run in the team, and I think you'll get the best Martial then. He does it with Lingard. He plays Lingard consistently all the time. Do it with Martial. That's what I want to see happen with him. I'm a massive fan of Martial, though, and I don't understand why people can't get that he is potentially one of the best players in the world. He just needs that opportunity. And to be honest, you know, Manchester United comes before everything for me, obviously. But if Mourinho doesn't want Martial and he doesn't want to use him, then I want to see Martial go somewhere else, as long as it's not the Premier League, and show exactly what he can be, because I'd love to see that happen. If we're not going to use him, then let him go and let him prove everybody wrong, because I think he's a fantastic player. And I'd say the same about Pereira. If we're not going to use Pereira this season, he doesn't need to sit on the bench like Fosu Mensah did last year and get 20 minutes in the Premier League. He needs to be getting 20, 30 games next year. And if he's not going to get that at United, then loan him out to a Premier League club, because he's already had a loan at first team football in La Liga and been fantastic. He doesn't need to sit in our reserves or train with the first team for a season. He needs to be involved, and if Mourinho can't give him that, get him out on loan. Neon Riot, how are you today, Mark? Good, thank you. Good. Lingard's missing from the squad again, says Dara. I didn't even know that. You what says, any new news on the new paid member of the United Stand? Not at the moment. It's still very much ongoing. We've had a few people interested, but no firm decisions made, so the position is still open. If you are interested in getting involved in the United Stand, probably need to be Manchester based and experienced in, or willing to learn filming in front of the camera, etc. soccerboxtv@gmail.com. But the second half's about to kick off. Matic is back out, I think. I heard Marcus rejoining as well.
Yeah, I'm here, mate. Yeah.
Apparently we're only going to make 3 subs in the second half. I guarantee one of them's going to be Fellaini.
Yes. It's obvious, isn't it? Fellaini will be one of the ones to come on. Probably for Pereira, I would assume.
Yeah, I would think so.
I would think Lukaku might come off as well for Rashford.
Yeah,
that's all I would make, actually. Maybe Mata as well. Just get some minutes in him, because he has been out.
I did say he has brought Fellaini on. I did say on Sunday, didn't I? How long would it be before we saw Pereira and Matic in the same midfield?
Yeah, Mata's on as well. Yeah,
I think I saw Carrick on as well.
Yeah, and Pereira. Oh, he's made quite a few.
Yeah. So Matic is off. At least we're not going to see Matic and Fellaini in the same midfield. Then that's one positive.
Do you need to nip off for a toilet break or a drink or anything?
No, I'm doing all right today.
No?
The ladder's holding up, which is at my age is quite a good thing. Remember, if you are new, I know we had a little bit of boost to people watching. If you are new, click that subscribe button. We're approaching 122,000 subscribers, but more importantly, if you are new, make sure you get involved with all our other shows. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Got the transfer show every morning. Lots of things going on in the United Stand. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock is a Skype show. You can Skype in and have your say. So lots to get involved with. Fantastic community we have on here. So get involved with it, and I don't think you'll regret it. If you found it new, you're going to love it. That's what everyone says about the United stand. Not because of me, not because of Marcus, just the community feeling that we have and the interaction. Steve LeBeau says, Mark, greetings from Seoul, Korea. It's 4:30 AM. And I tell you what, if you are stopping up, it's not a bad game to be watching.
Oh, I think that that fantastic counter-attacking goal was the highlight of the first half. Absolutely amazing. United evolved. Very quick. So let's have a look and
I
see.
must admit, this second half team's a bit dull. There's nothing that excites me about it. Matic has gone off, Pereira's gone off, Pogba's gone off. Where's Rashford? Where's Martial? We've got Fellaini, Carrick and Herrera. If my predictions are right, it's going to be a slow midfield this second half. Mata's on as well.
Yeah. Seems to have. I know they're great players, but
yeah,
the way
it's the
we played in
movement,
the first
isn't it?
half.
I don't really see the movement in the midfield now.
Yeah.
I think it becomes quite a. Hopefully, I'll get proved wrong. Hopefully, I'll get proved wrong. But it appears a much slower midfield now.
Well, I think.
Especially when the only real pace in that team now is Lukaku up front and Valencia down the right. Luke Skywalker's made a contribution. Says Carrick and Fellaini coming on. Put your seatbelt on.
Could
be a car crash. Let's hope we're wrong.
Start your timer, mate.
Yeah, I'll sort that in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, so Mkhitaryan's gone off for Mata then. Yeah, so Mata looks like he's playing as the number 10 now. But hopefully, it's we'll get a second goal and cheer us up a bit more.
Well, yeah, we'll find out how good Sampdoria are, because realistically, and I'm not being negative, that this team second half is
worse
very
than the
slow.
first one.
Yeah, you got Mata's got no pace, Fellaini's got no pace, Carrick's got no pace. Still got Darmian on, so really you're looking at Lukaku, Herrera. Is Darmian still on the left? I think he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Jer O'Neill says, any new transfer news since this morning? Only a little bit of an update about Perisic, that we haven't made any inquiry for a couple of weeks, but that's all I've heard. Marcus was trying to get me excited about Neymar this afternoon, and I told him he's mad, and I think I've been proved right again.
I never thought it would happen, just so you know. But
he flew to London, didn't he, or something? That's why people were getting excited.
It was one of those situations where, like, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that United could have just hijacked it at the last minute.
I think the Glazers would have had a heart attack if Woodward did that. They'd be like, what are you doing with all our money? What are you doing?
Well, I thought, as soon as he said this morning that, as soon as I read this morning that he's been granted permission to leave, and I thought, well, Woodward absolutely loves him, doesn't he? So that's the only thing that kept my spirits up about it.
Breach 69 says 2 minutes the second half, and you can already see it's much slower. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? Carrick's, going backwards quite literally because his career's on the decline. Fellaini's, makes a donkey look fast. Mata's not fast. And Herrera, it will be a different second half. I think Sampdoria will come into the game more, because I think they'll be able to. Well, they're already coming into the game more. I think they've had more in our attacking third than they got in the whole half.
I really hope Jose doesn't do this Tuesday and swaps the team around. I know it's a trophy, but I really hope that he doesn't change it too much from what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, because we're not playing again till the Sunday, so it's a 5-day rest. It's not like
I would hope the strongest team starts Tuesday, and that's probably because like you said, the Sunday is the West Ham game, so I would hope to see our first team playing, or what he thinks our first team is.
Yeah, I don't think Ronaldo's playing for Real Madrid, is he?
No, I heard that. Yeah, extended holiday, extended break.
I tell you what, Marcus, Sampdoria are all over us at the moment, and I think that's, you know, people think it's negativity, but it's not. It never is. It's just like Forest Dweller says, 3 blind mice. See how they run: Mata, Carrot, and Fellaini. It's true. It's like, you know, I like Mata, but you can't. It's a bit like what I was saying at half time when I was on about Martial and how he always seems to get to come on when the midfield's slow and static. He never gets to play with the quicker players, and it's the same for Mata in this game. You know, it doesn't suit Mata playing with, you know, okay, Fellaini, the midfielder. I mean, he's nearly fell over the ball himself there. You know, Mata wants what was on in the second. You know, Mata wants what Mkhitaryan had in the first half. People like Pereira, Pogba around him, even Matic. You know, he doesn't want bloody Fellaini running alongside him, and, you know, Carrick still catching his breath on the halfway line because he's knackered. But we're on the attack here anyway. They'll probably start scoring a load of goals now and shut me up, but no.
This is going to be a real dire second half, I think, for me. As that comment said, first 5 minutes you can already tell it's slow, it's lethargic. Yeah, there's no pace in the middle.
Yeah, well, Sampdoria suddenly looked like Barcelona.
It's amazing, isn't it? The difference. People in comments saying you just hate Fellaini more.
Yeah, pretty much. You're right. I don't make any doubt. You know, I hate him as a footballer. Don't know him as an individual. It just makes me feel sick as a footballer. Not even. No, that's not fair. In the midfield, he makes me feel sick. I've always said, put him up front as the number 10, which is where he played at Everton. I never understand. I've never understood the Fellaini signing anyway. But the one thing I would always say, Marcus, is when Fellaini caused us problems, namely Vidic, the fact that I'm saying he caused Vidic and Ferdinand problems is a big giveaway that he never played as a midfielder for Everton. He played as a number 10.
Yeah.
And we've never played him there. We bought him for nearly £30 million, which was a robbery. And then we've never played him in what his position is. You know, we all know he's got brilliant ball control on the chest. We all know that he's an absolute calamity James in the penalty box, but in a positive way. But we've consistently played him as this sort of Zidane role in the midfield, which is just, you know, a blind Zidane would be better than him at the age Zidane is now. He's just an atrocious midfielder, and I do hate him in that aspect. But if we played him as a number 10 in certain situations, I think he'd be very, very valuable. And I've always said that.
Let's not get into a negative depression mode. All right. So I mean, that first half, Mark. I mean, would you put that team out against Madrid? Would you make any changes?
I think there's one obvious change. Herrera's got to be in it. So I don't think Pereira's ready yet, and hopefully he can force his way in. But the positive thing about Pereira is that if there was an injury to Pogba or Herrera, or they did get suspended, or they did have a knock, then hopefully that would be Pereira's position and not Fellaini's. But apart from that, yeah, I think it would. I think Mkhitaryan's got to play. I think he's been, you know, you've got to reward players who on the pre-season tour do well. And I think Mkhitaryan's been one of the most consistent players. Pogba's going to obviously play. Matic, you cannot spend £40 million on a player and not play him. Plus, I think you can already see in that centre defensive midfield role, he's streets ahead of Carrick and Fellaini. But yeah, so Herrera in for Pereira is the only change I would make. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious one. Pereira. I'd be more interested in seeing what he tries to do to solve this left-hand side problem.
Yeah, there was somebody when you were on half-time break actually saying that this team, we don't need any more signings, this team's ready. And I did say, look, we're so imbalanced down the left-hand side. I like Darmian, but a title-winning side, Darmian's a squad player. He's a backup. He's not. He can't be a first. I mean, he's got the ball now. That player there, instead of looking to pass it backwards, He had a one-on-one in front of him. He should be passing it forwards and bombing on. And I think that's what Luke Shaw would do if he was fit. But there's a big question mark over his fitness. But or Perisic would be fantastic.
Well, let's say, I mean, it doesn't look likely that Perisic is, well, whether we're still in for him or not. Don't look like he's going to be here by Tuesday. So, I mean, left-hand side, would you keep it as what the first half was? Or would you, Martial, you're a big fan.
I don't think Martial. I don't think Martial can be a left wing back.
I mean, maybe,
I genuinely do worry that he might be looking to get rid of Martial. And, I was thinking about it today. How would I react if Martial was let go? As we saw last Sunday, it's not good when you've got a United fan channel to just totally lose it because of your opinions. You'd have to be pragmatic about it. But I think I'd have to just react with disappointed silence, because I would be absolutely gutted on so many levels if we let Martial go. I really like Mourinho. I think he's a fantastic manager, but he does make mistakes. And I think letting whoever you're the manager, letting Martial leave United is a big mistake. And I don't get why. I think if Martial went to another club, it'd be fantastic.
Maybe the lad just, maybe he just can't cut it in the Premier League. I mean,
he's already done it.
Well, to an extent, yeah. I mean, in Van Gaal's first season,
I think it might just be Mourinho doesn't like him. It happens in life, doesn't it? Just because you're a great footballer, if somebody doesn't like you, and I don't think he doesn't like him because he's a bad person. I think Mourinho's been quite open about it. I think Martial's quite a reserved person, maybe even a bit shy. He is definitely one of those players that needs an arm around the shoulder, and I don't think Mourinho likes that. Look at the signings he's made. Look at the team in the first half. It's full of big men, fighters, and Martial isn't that. But that's a failing on Mourinho's part if that's true, because life's not like that. You can't just have a team of people who are tough characters, because some of the best footballers in the world are you need that support system. But having said that, you've also got to have that winning mentality. Martial's coming on anyway with Rashford, which is good, because I think this first 11 minutes has been very, very dull. But having said that, as the person said at half time, it's typical again, isn't it? Martial's going to come onto a game where we're doing nothing in the attack because the midfield's so slow.
Yeah, it seems like these boys come on to try and inject a bit of pace into it. But when the midfield is so static like it is, they're not going to be fed the ball very quickly, I wouldn't have thought. Not from the three in the middle. So it'll be down to their trickery, I suppose, and hopefully create some space and make something happen.
Well, it might be a bit of individual brilliance. We're doing slightly better, I must admit, now. Sampdoria were sort of bossing it a little bit, but we're doing slightly better now.
Well, Fellaini's just blatantly give the ball away there.
Well, it should have been a foul first. I don't know why he's putting his hands in the air, because the only other thing they could have given was a foul against him. Get off. Go on, go to Turkey. I'll pay for the flight. One way.
He doesn't suit these type of games, does he? I don't even think Carrick suits this type of game,
I love Michael Carrick. I think he's a fantastic. He has been a fantastic player, but I think he only suits a certain game now. I think maybe home against somebody like a Burnley who's going to sit back, and he's got loads of space and he can just pick out his passing. But I think, like you say, in this sort of game where you've got busy players around him, he hasn't got the speed anymore.
I think maybe the.
I do agree with keeping Carrick, by the way. Though a lot of people said we should have got rid of him, but there's a lot to be said for keeping. He's the only real link back to the good old days now, and I think in the dressing room that's very important, especially now we lost Rooney.
I think Europe, the Champions League, would suit Carrick better. A bit more time on the ball, he would get Um, I think the Premier League now players opposition were closing down too quickly.
So Martial's coming on for
Blind.
Oh, we're playing him as a centre back now. I bet he's playing him as a left wing back, which is basically playing him as a left back.
Well, this will be interesting to see. I could only assume that Jose's going to put him there to, if we're not in for Perisic
it's
no
annoying
more.
In a way because Rashford gets to go up front for Lukaku, and poor old Martial gets put back at gets put at left wing back. He's just, he's on a hiding to nothing.
But it's down to him to see how he takes it, isn't it? Is he up to the challenge?
Unless we've changed formation. I think we might have changed formation, to be honest. No, we haven't.
I still see Darmian pushing up.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully these boys can do something about it, because the midfield it's so slow.
Yeah, so Martial has gone into that sort of left wing back position. Fellaini's just getting up, trying to get into the box so he can score a header and stay. Right, Martial's got it now. Sampdoria clear. They tried to do a 1-2 with Mata, but it didn't work.
Got a few people in the comments saying we've gone to a flat back 4.
I think Martial already looks a lot better than he did last year. His passing looks better. Yeah, it does look like it is a flat back 4 now. Although Valencia's still getting forward for a lot.
Well, Mata's gone out to the right. Herrera, 2.
Yes, 2-0.
Yes.
No, offside.
No, offside. Oh.
Yeah. They were a bit late on that. I was just looking at Herrera's reaction. He didn't look. He didn't look happy about it. So.
Oh, great chest control again by Fellaini.
Yeah, you see Fellaini in the box. I agree. He's his clumsiness is a real asset, but I never understand why he played that role so well for Everton, and then we bought him and thought, let's play him as a midfielder. And then people always say, oh, he plays there for Belgium. How many cups have Belgium won?
Yeah.
And they've got a great team. Maybe if they didn't have Fellaini, they would start winning some cups, just like us. Big cups, I mean, league cups, not the League Cup, the league.
Well, there's a few people saying it's a 4-3-3, and a few saying a 4-4-2.
Could be a goal. 1-1. 1-1. I think it all comes down to the total lack of pace in the team now. Don't know what you think, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, we've not looked nowhere near as threatening as we did in the first half. And this has been a recurring theme, I think, especially in America, when we played Fellaini and Carrick. We're just inviting pressure because we're not attacking anymore. It just seems like, oh, we got the 1-goal lead. That's it. We can shut up shop, and that's that. It's done. They've not threatened us at all in the first half, but as soon as you make them changes, you just have pressure, and the ball gets bypassed our midfield because it's so bloody slow.
You know what? Football's a very, very simple game, and none of us, whether you're sat at home or me or Marcus, none of us are paid thousands of pounds like Alan Shearer to tell us it's raining when it's chucking it down outside, or tell us that Carrick and Fellaini are too slow. We all said it at half time. As soon as we saw that substitution, we've seen it happening on the US tour, like Marcus said. People, you may. I love Michael Carrick, but I'm also wide awake to the fact that he's on the decline, and he has been for 2 years. I've been consistent about how I feel about Fellaini for 4 years, but I've also said twice on this show tonight, I don't understand why we play him as a midfielder anyway, because it's not even his best position. But we predicted this. We said at half-time it's going to be a slow, boring half, and it has happened. I just feel sorry for people like Mata and Martial and even Rashford, who might have to just do it all on his own, and he probably will, that they have to come on with this sort of a midfield.
I mean, the thing is there, I mean, you know, Rashford's just picked the ball up. Oh, Fellaini nearly scored a goal.
By Martial.
Yeah, we saw in the first half with that counter-attacking goal, there was 5 bodies in the box waiting for that ball to come in. And then we've just seen Rashford there. He's the only one that's furthest forward.
Yeah.
You know, where are the bodies? And the bodies aren't there because the midfield is so bloody slow.
Yeah.
You can't get runners beyond the centre forward if they can't even keep up with him. And Fellaini, Carrick and Herrera, well, not so much Herrera because he can run, but the other two.
Yeah, I know people will say it's favouritism, not why aren't you picking on Herrera, but it's the same reason I didn't pick on Pogba when he played with Carrick and Fellaini on one of the US Tour games. It's like, we know Herrera and Pogba are good footballers, but you stick them in a midfield 3 like that, and how do you expect them to... Especially Herrera. I mean, Pogba does have the ability to run at people, but that's not Herrera's game. So Herrera's very reliant on the players that he's got with him. And if he's got 2 slow players who don't want to pass and move and aren't really capable of passing because Carrick's so far back, then Herrera's going to struggle.
Yeah,
I think it's a real chore for whoever gets, unfortunately, to play with those 2.
You almost feel sorry for... you know, the creative players in this team with Carrick and Fellaini in the midfield because it doesn't work. You know, Mata's being shut down on the right hand side. Martial's gone on as the left wing back. Rashford has got no support because they can't keep up with him.
Richard Hall says Neymar for the Ballon d'Or, Fellaini for the exit door. Yeah, I don't think either's going to happen, unfortunately. Apparently the Irish crowd cheered when Fellaini came on. I mean, that's the thing with Fellaini now. I think that should be a big sign that it's time for him to go. He's that much of a joke. He you know, people cheer him when he comes on now. It's you speak to any United fan and you know, some people get wound up about it and some people just laugh about it, but whatever, everybody's fully aware that Fellaini is not a Manchester United player, certainly in the midfield. I mean, Phil Neville said it, Gary Neville's hinted at it. He's not a Manchester United midfielder. At best, he should be an option off the bench in the final third when we need to hit a long ball. But this consistent use, and you can't just blame Mourinho, Van Gaal did it as well, and Moyes. Yeah. This consistent use of him as a midfielder is baffling to probably 90% of our support because he just doesn't have the traits to do it.
Do you think, right, if Moyes didn't bring in Fellaini, and we know Mourinho loves height, do you think this summer we would have got him for Fellaini if we didn't already have him?
I don't think Mourinho's that much of an idiot, to be honest. I think Matic is perfect for him because Matic has got the height, which Mourinho loves. But Matic is also a footballer in the fact that he can move the ball around quickly and his positional sense is good. I don't think Fellaini... I think Mourinho's been impressed by Fellaini's work ethic, but I don't think Fellaini would be a Mourinho signing because of his lack of, you know, ability on the ball. But you know, I might be wrong. But I don't think he is the sort of player.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It just crossed my mind then. I thought, you know, maybe we would have gone in for him.
Dylan Sarker says Mourinho's an idiot. Well, Rashford's on a good run here.
He's been taken out.
Free kick. Rashford might take it.
Perfect example of what pace can do.
Yeah.
And you won't. I bet you won't see for the rest of this game. You won't see our midfield get tackled
nowhere near
like
him
that.
Anyway. The only player that's near him is Martial because the rest of them are running backwards. Fellaini and Mata are trying to get there, but you know they may as well catch the bus that's coming round the corner in half an hour. They'll get there quicker. They just haven't got any pace. That's what surprises me about it, is that why Mourinho's brought on such a collective group of slow players in the second half compared to the first half. But I suppose he wants to give people a run out.
I was just going to say, the only thing can be minutes in the legs, isn't it?
Yeah. He must be aware of what everyone else is. So Mata looks like he might take the free kick. Although Rashford... No, Lindelof's having a rugby run up. I don't think he's going to... No, he's too far off. It's going to be Herrera or Mata. Mata through the wall into the keeper.
Well, I think if we see this midfield quite often in the Premier League, I think my suggestion the other day
would struggle against any team in the Premier League. Any team in the Premier League, because any team in the Premier League, they are combative, hard-working, and they'd rub their hands at playing against such a slow midfield.
I mean, they're basically just walking. One pass is bypassing our whole midfield.
Yeah.
And it was a similar situation with Barcelona. When Barcelona were breaking with Messi, Neymar and Suarez, it was one-touch football, and our midfield just did not know what to do. They were playing catch-up every time Barcelona came forward.
I'll tell you what, though, one positive I would say is that, United fans, we're hungry for United football, and we've all been watching pre-season games like we'd watch any other game. Thousands of us watching on the United stand and elsewhere, watching pre-season games. Not many other clubs have that, and the reality is this is virtually a different team in the second half. So, we are judging what effectively could be our second team. So, if it was Chelsea's second team midfield, would they be any better? If it was Man City's second team, would they be any better? I don't know. I'll just put it out there that we are judging players that hopefully won't be first team players anyway. Certainly in the midfield.
Well, the only thing with Man City's team is they got pace in that team. Their midfield is quite pacey, very pacey compared to our midfield here. You wouldn't want to play this team away to the likes of Man City or Chelsea. No. Herrera looks like he's the only one willing to drive forward here.
There's a yellow card there. We don't want Herrera injured, because that would mean Matic and Fellaini in the midfield with Pogba. People forget that, though. Mourinho did utter the words last year that Fellaini's my replacement if Pogba gets injured. What a change.
It sends a shiver down your spine, doesn't it?
There's a slight difference between the two, yeah. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there is. There's a Mexican wave at the Aviva. That is the death knell of a football match.
Yeah.
Yeah, people think it's good fun, but that means the game's rubbish.
I've not spotted the United stand banner in the crowd yet.
No, I think you might have been mugged off again.
I think Martial's probably going to have to do something himself to.
Yeah, same with Rashford. Really, they're not going to. They're not going to get that quick ball, and if the people don't understand what the quick ball is, that they will never get from someone like Fellaini or Carrick. It's that ball when the opposition aren't set. So like Pogba's good at it, and Herrera's normally good at it, and Pereira's good at it, and Mata's normally good at it. It's like getting the ball, but you've got to get the ball quick from the back four. It's no point giving Mata the ball when the midfield behind him have been hanging on to it for too long. It's quick ball from the back to the front, basically. That's what Martial and Rashford want, so that when they get it to feet, they're running at one player and they're already moving. What they tend to get a lot more of is back to the ball, slow movement to the ball, 3 players around them, and it's very, very difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody just told me that the Mexican wave doesn't mean it's a boring game. It was actually from England v Mexico, England v Argentina in '86. Look, the origins of the Mexican wave may very well have been it's a very good game, but the reality is that the Mexican wave now gets used when fans are getting bored. It certainly wasn't happening in the '99 final in the Nou Camp because nobody could be asked to do that because they were too interested in what was going on the pitch. Minnie says we completely lost the midfield.
That's evident, isn't it? I mean,
I think we should have kept the same team like DLM 75 for at least an hour. We should have done it.
But like we said earlier, the only reason I can see is minutes in the legs. That's all it can be, surely.
Yeah, and it's a collective. TC Singh says Fellaini and Carrick together are terrible, which I agree. They're collectively, it's just very, very dull and static.
Well, they don't even complement each other with the styles of play, do they? Really?
Yeah.
Seems like, apart from minutes, it's a pretty pointless, setup for them two. Well,
Ashley Young's injured. Off. Somebody just asked. De Gea's just gone off, so Romero can play against his old club.
Pereira.
Oh, Pereira, yeah.
Pereira's gone off. Oh, here comes Phil Jones.
Oh God! Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse.
So,
he's come on to score the winner for Sampdoria.
Oh, there's another lad coming on.
That's Twansibi.
See again, last 14 minutes.
Yeah, it's it's nothing.
You know what? If you're gonna make that midfield like that in the second half, why not play that lad straight away in the second half?
Well, Lindelof and Smalling are off, so I presume somebody else has come on because Darmian's off as well. He's not used Fosu Mensah in this one. Bay's on then, surely.
Yeah, Smalling went off for Bay, yeah.
Well, let's see if we can nick a winner in the last few minutes. Vital minutes, says Roge America. Everyone needs minutes, which, yeah, is fair enough.
I mean, poor old Twansibi, I remember you saying you thought he was a centre-back and end of the season, last season.
Midfield,
yeah. He's been in there and now he's out at bloody left wing-back. I mean, these young players, it's a fault, really, because they can't cement one place that they want.
No. And it very rarely works out well. I mean, John O'Shea's a prime example. Oh, it's great that they can come on and play in numerous positions. Phil Neville was another one, but actually, you never really become a first teamer because you never pin down one.
Yeah, more of a utility player, aren't they? Really.
Yeah. I like Twansibi though. He always impresses me when I've seen him.
I mean, we do look like we got some, good young lads coming through that can do a job, but when they're being played out of position, they're not going to play their best, are they? So they won't get picked again.
It's a prime example of Fellaini there. Touch and pass.
Yeah, too slow.
Too slow. So Martial's offside. It's so hard when you're an attacker, when you're making your runs, if the midfield don't play the ball quick enough.
So by the time Martial gets the ball, he's got two watching him already. Oh.
Oh, it's a shame.
I mean,
It was a
yeah,
great, good run by Martial down the left. Crossed it back, and Herrera didn't make the most of it, to be honest. But this is where that's exactly what I mean about Martial.
Yeah, by the time the lad gets the ball, they're already in position waiting.
Yeah, same for Rashford as well. They've got to get quick ball so that the defence aren't set, so they can get at them. As soon as they're set, it's twice as hard. At least we seem to be using the left side a lot more anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's got to be a positive for the second half. Martial's had a fair bit of the ball since he's come on.
Yeah. To be fair, I thought it was a bit unfair of him going on the left, but he certainly had more of it than Rashford. I think much like Lukaku, I mean, Carrick shouldn't be giving that away there. I mean, if Carrick loses his passing ability, he becomes redundant.
Well, Fellaini's finally passed it to Martial, but you've got to check back again. Not quick enough.
Pass that by Martial. Should have given it to Mata. Finally, there's a ball from Fellaini that's decent, and then here we go. He's got to do something with it this time. He's had one good run, one bad run.
2-1. Yeah. Get in.
Martial again. Well, I'm glad about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's nice for Mata as well. Bit of confidence. But I mean, they got four defenders there. Five against our three. They're already in position, so it looks like we're going to have to. Something was going to come. It was going to come from a bit of brilliance.
Well, look at that. Martial's causing them problems there because they suddenly get three players around him very quickly. And if he's intelligent like he is there and doesn't, because in that position he might have thought, I'm going to run at everybody. He doesn't, and he lays it off, and Mata makes it 2-1. But Martial had a really good 5 minutes, I thought, there, to be honest.
I mean, considering where the lad's been playing, I think he's done all right.
I think he's had a good pre-season. I think still United fans aren't convinced by him, but some United fans, I think the majority, like me, really like him. But I think he's a very good player, and I think he's got his mind right this year, and that can only be a good thing.
Salford Reds just said, good sign that both our number 10s have scored.
Yeah.
I think if you're Rashford and you've got that midfield behind you, you're probably thinking, great, no service again. I mean, he's having to come near enough to the halfway line to get the ball.
He's got it now.
Oh, run at him, kid. Go on.
Oh, nearly. Good 1-2 with Mata. Just last-ditch defending from Sampdoria. Might be a third in this. To be honest, though, the change from the first half an hour of the half was very dull, but this last little bit, we've been doing well. I mean, what do you think's changed?
To be honest, I would say, since it's only Sampdoria's second game, I would just say it's a lack of thinking. The pace
made a lot of subs as well.
Yeah, the pace of Martial and Rashford is taking its toll now, I think, in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot more space and time for United to...
yeah. I think if we're not in for Perisic and we're not going to get Perisic, then for me, Martial would have to be the left sider. Forest Dweller says they stopped passing Fellaini.
You what, mate?
Forest Dweller says they've stopped passing to Fellaini. That's why.
Here's Martial again.
He's off again, look. Yeah.
Oh, unlucky. He's causing all sorts of problems though. The crowd are loving it. Twanzebe, it's a little cameo again, but he's done very well. They've certainly sped up the play.
Good ball, Valencia.
Oh, Fellaini beaten in the air. He can't even win headers now. Should be attacking that.
Adam Cheese says this team is missing a superstar. We need another box-to-box player to give some competition.
Yeah, do you think we'll sign anybody else?
To be honest, I don't see it happening. I think if we do, by some slim chance that we do, it's got to be a wide player. Because I mean that first half, it was evident to everyone. Everything was coming down the right hand side. This second half seems to be a little bit of a mix. It's more down the left, but there are some bits of play that are coming down the right hand side from Valencia. I don't think we will, but if we do, it would have to be an out and out winger for me. It just looks so unbalanced down that left hand side, and I really don't think he would wait or take a risk and wait for Luke Shaw to come back.
No, it's too long to wait. It's too many points. I think you've got to be ready for the first game of the season. There's what 12, 15 points up for grabs before Luke Shaw will be anywhere near match fitness. So you can't wait on that. We are imbalanced. I mean, even Twanzebe's done quite well. Ooh, good shot by Herrera. It was a well worked corner with Rashford. And
great saves again.
United have finished strong. I'd agree with you though. I think it's a lot of this is a cover up for the fact that Sampdoria have made a lot of changes and they look a bit tired.
I mean, the only other option down the left hand side would be Lingard, and I wouldn't want to see that.
No, well, Lingard will come into this team and people forget about that.
Yeah, he's not been involved, has he, for the last couple of games?
No, I don't know. It's keeping him fresh for the final.
So we need 20 new subs for 122,000. 19, 18.
We did what?
18 more subs for 122,000.
Bloody hell, I didn't realise we were that close.
Yeah.
It's shot up that has. Well, I hope everyone's enjoyed the show. I'll be doing my match reaction after this, player ratings and everything. I'm glad that we've hopefully sneaked over the line and won it. I think from half time until about 10 minutes ago it was a bit of a chore, but the first half's been enjoyable. And I mean, I'm trying to think what sort of formation we're playing at the moment as well. It's I think it still is a bit of a. I think it still is the 3-5-2, to be honest. I know people said we changed it. I still think Valencia and Martial. I mean, Martial's been very good this second half. A bit wasteful there, but
yeah. Els Horton just made a good comment there. Don't forget about Ashley Young.
I'll try my best to forget about Ashley Young, to be honest.
Well, we saw him a couple of times last season actually play at left back, didn't we? And the left side. But again, with Ashley Young, he's always a bit predictable. Always got to come inside on his right.
Yeah.
Shashwat says Fellaini's been doing great today. Yeah.
Stay off the drugs, they don't work. Who would be a man of the match, Marcus? I mean, I won't give mine away.
Second half, I'll say Valencia stood out. well, he has stood out again in the second half. I did say in the first half him, Mkhitaryan and Matic, but I think overall Valencia.
We've got a comment from Ed, our moderator. I just want to thank him for tonight and United in the Stands chance as well. He says, listen kids, if Fellaini can make it as a professional footballer, anything is possible. You can become anything, even a helicopter.
I think all the moderators are on tonight, Mark. Beck's on here as well.
Okay, big shout out to Beck as well. It's sometimes not easy for me to spot, but it's very appreciated. Certainly notice it when you're not here. But pre-season over, Marcus, really. A competitive game coming up next Tuesday. Then West Ham. The audition's over. We've got to perform. Are you confident we can?
I'm confident we can perform. I'm confident we can be competitive. I stand by what I said the last time I was on. I don't think this team is league title winners. But again, you know, in football, anything can happen. And I'm not one for judging the team until around Christmas time, because you know, if we're there or thereabouts at Christmas, like in the days of Ferguson, then we're in with a chance. Anything can happen. Busy periods over Christmas, a lot of games. So, in terms of the Champions League, I'm quite looking forward to that. Champions League football back at Old Trafford. I think, you know, get out the group stages, anything's possible.
Yeah.
I think pre-season been good though for all the players, all the team. I don't think we'll see many of the youngsters this season. So hopefully loan moves are available for them and they get some Premier League experience.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on that in my match reaction actually, because I want to sort of do a youth mini review within that, because we are at the end of the pre-season and I don't expect we'll see much of them now. Now the real football starts, but I think I know we've only seen glimpses, but I really do think Twansebe's done well, and he impresses me every time.
He has done well for the times that he's come on.
But he gets thrown into all sorts of positions, like you say.
Yeah, you know, I do think it's unfair for the young lads to be played in 2-3 different positions, but you know, you could say they need the experience of playing in different positions in case of emergency.
Yeah.
So, you know, but again, you know, the flip side to that, they'll never cement one place down in the team. You know, if Ozzy Mensah is not going to be involved with the first team, then alone, Twansebe, I think he should go on a loan for certainty, because we've got so many centre backs, so many defenders in general. Well, I think it's nice that you know, we've had a glimpse of the signings, the new lads, see how they gel together, and hopefully we can start off the Premier League season next week with quite a few decent results. I mean, I think the first 5 games are winnable, without doubt. So hopefully it starts off and we hit the ground running.
I'll be doing my live match reaction as soon as this game's over, which is just about now actually. The link is in the video description. It's in the top line of the video description, and I'll be over there in about 60 seconds time, giving my match review, some good, some bad, match ratings, a little bit of review about the youth players, so don't miss it, lots to say. But thanks for everybody joining us on the watch along, really enjoyed it. We do this for every United game, certainly from now anyway to the end of the season, so join us for that. We're also live every night at 8 o'clock, and we've got a transfer show every morning. We've hit 122,000 subscribers, so thank you. Get involved, it's your channel, get involved with it. But Marcus, as ever, thanks for coming on, hope you've enjoyed it.
No worries, mate, always a pleasure, you know. Thanks for everyone in the live comments, fantastic, again, much appreciated.
Okay pal, I'll speak to you soon.
And you, mate, have a good night, see you later.
Ta-da. And for everybody who's still with us, click that link in the video description and I'll see you over there. in 60 seconds time for the match reaction. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you shortly.